Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule, and today we're going back to the island of misfit ninjas on a hunt for blood. It's American Ninja 3 Blood Hunt. Let's go.
You know why I'm most excited about this? We're over halfway done with these.
Yeah. They just keep getting better and better.
Clint's like, okay, how many more do I have left?
There's two more. I think we're only doing the one.
We're only doing the one, though.
All right. Phew.
We might do the other one as a one-off,
Hey,
but I won't
hey.
have you back for it.
No.
Because it's not part of the series.
I refuse to not do it. If we're going to do it,
This is a series?
There is. So we're in, it's
a
American
lot of continuity here.
It's American Ninja. We've been working our way through the series, of which there's technically 5, but we're only recognizing 4 because the 5th one, it's different characters, different everything. They just slapped the name on it because they thought it might help sell a few DVDs, but it's not really part of the series. So, but that's for later. For now, we're talking about American Ninja 3. Welcome into the show. Welcome to Bad Movies Rule. We're happy that you guys are here and listening. To on my right, we've got Mr. Clint Bush. What's up, Clint?
Not much, man. Just hanging out, being cool.
You being cool, but you seem kind of annoyed that you have to be here for this again.
No, I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
I'm not annoyed that I have to be here for this. I'm annoyed that I have to watch the crap movie in order to prepare to be here. And the movie was so bad that I kept falling asleep that I had to watch it again.
You poor guy got roped into this and the Iron Eagle series, so you got
good stuff.
double duty.
At least I like the Iron Eagle movies.
That's fair. And speaking of people we like, Mr. Joe Goratowski, what's up, man? The alpha male is back.
Yep.
And I let him sit next to me.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm glad I'm back.
Are you as bummed to be here as Clint is?
No. I like this movie. We have enough material that we can do 5, 10, 15, 20 shows.
It's
I
true.
mean, it's
true.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Now, one thing has changed since the last 2 American Ninja movies. Now, as you know, we like to bring the same people back, but Mel Vandy, as you can see, is not
lost a
sitting
lot
here
of weight.
at the table.
We're going with a different narrative.
But this isn't someone new to the show. When I said, okay, Mel can't make it, we're doing a ninja movie, and the first thing that popped in my head is, oh, Joe crushed it on Ninja Assassin back in episode 51. So back for another ninja movie again, we got Joe Bernhardt in the house. What's up, man?
Yep, I'm here. Mel Vandy was killed watching this movie.
Is that what happened? You weren't fast enough on the arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Well, look, bud, I'm glad that you're here for another ninja. Don't think that you're only going to be here for ninja movies, but
But you're only going to be here for ninja movies.
as of now, you've only been here for ninja
Well,
movies.
maybe we need to do more ninja movies.
Oh, you should see our list. There is lots of ninja movies on the list. You're not going to get roped into all of them.
No,
It's okay.
I'm just annoyed that there's another
Joe
here. Yeah.
Oh,
we have Joe and we've got other Joe.
I know. No, I'm the
You
first
are
Joe.
other Joe.
Look, the Ryans have to deal with 3 Ryans. You only got one
I'm
other
not a
Joe.
Ryan. I don't have to deal with that.
Well, we can find
I don't
a
like
third Joe, and we can have a Joe Bunel.
No, we're not going to have another Joe.
Joe Bunel? I would
Joe's is
love
enough.
to do a Joe
No
Bunel.
offense, Joe. Joe 2.
That's okay.
Joe.
You had it right the first time. Just Joe. Other Joe.
He'll be
You're good.
Joe, and you'll just be the alpha male, and that's how we'll know the difference. Okay.
Whatever.
It's not the same.
For those of you who've never watched the show,
We're gonna have Joe and Alpha Joe.
Is we are going to give you guys the vitals of the movie, who wrote, directed it, all the scores, all those things, and we're going to walk you through scene by scene. We're going to talk through the whole movie, and then eventually at the end, we'll give it some awards, and we'll ultimately try and land and decide, is this actually a bad movie, full stop? Is it a bad movie that rules because it's, bad, but it's enjoyable? Or is it a straight up good movie? We'll try and figure this out. This is going to be a tough one to decide on, I think.
Do I have to wait, or can I do it now?
No, we definitely can't let the cat out of the bag already. man.
Come on.
I'm certain we can take one selection completely off the board.
Well, you never know. I mean, who knows? Joe could come out of left field and be like, this is my favorite movie ever.
You know, I don't know any Joes that are complete idiots. So it's probably not the case.
Well, we'll see.
All right.
I'm not that, well, you're a complete idiot, but we'll see where people land on.
Yeah, maybe bad movie will just be gone. Who knows?
Yeah, well, what if everybody goes the other way? We'll see. All right, let's dig into the vitals on this one. We've got a movie that is not directed by Sam Furstenberg, who directed the first 2. We've got a new director.
Secondberg.
Oh, I was going to say that.
You beat him by 1 second.
Oh, that's
I'm the better Joe.
other Joe. Point 1.
The movie was directed
I'll
by
keep score.
Cedric, I'm going to say this the right way, Cedric Sundstrom, who directed the 3rd and the upcoming 4th movie. And it was written by Gary Conway. So at least Gary Conway played the lion, the bad guy in the first one, in the white suit. And so he's back as a writer. So there's a little bit of continuity, but a new director. The movie starred not Michael Dudikoff.
Nope.
There is a new American ninja, and his name is David Bradley.
Yeah,
Okay. That's kind of a
it's true.
lukewarm reaction. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let's give him a good... There we go.
No, we that was it.
No, that was
my
the right
clapping
reaction.
for it.
AKA
Yeah.
Sean.
Sean.
A.K.A. Sean. Also stars Steve James and Michelle Chan and Evan Klisser rounds out the cast, along with a few others.
Yes. Steve James returning, of course.
Of
So-
course.
The canon picture people are the ones that notoriously made the American Ninja movies. And what happens when, in general, in Hollywood, when an original film does really well? They make a sequel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they generally increase the budget, right?
Yes.
When the first one, which was one of the few hits Canon had, came out,
Yeah.
they slashed the budget on the second one.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do.
And it was a better movie.
And it was a better movie, and it still got less money.
Yeah.
This got the same budget, $350,000.
That's
That
it.
plays, which 2 years later
Is
is
not
less.
as much.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And the box office on this was a whopping $902,000.
Triple up.
So they made money,
Yeah.
but they almost lost money on a budget of $350,000.
It was close.
Yeah, this movie was affordable.
It was.
They made $100,000. $100,000.
American Ninja 3. It's affordable.
I feel like I could have maybe made a movie like this.
We did. Kidding me?
All right. So
For
the,
less money.
the
We
second
didn't have
one,
as many ninjas.
which was a travesty.
We had
The second
$3,000.
American Ninja movie was a 4.9 on IMDb, lower than I thought it should have been. Should have been the fives, I think, somewhere.
0.0.
This one is a 3.7 on IMDb.
That's too low.
I was
and I don't
shocked.
like this movie.
That's shocking.
I was shocked to see that. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's one of our lowest
Really low.
ones. Yeah. It's currently at a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That tracks,
Oh,
actually.
But there's only one review out there.
There's only 7 people who watched this movie, and 4 of them are right here.
Well, no, it got over 1,000 audience ratings on
Oh.
there. So more than 7 people have watched
lied.
it. But the audience score with those 1,000 plus ratings is currently at 18%.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That's worse than this room.
That's really bad.
We could review boost this movie.
We could, if we could become reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes.
How would we become Rotten Tomato reviewers, James?
So, for those of you, and if you've been listening, you've probably heard me say this already, but the qualifications for a podcast to be included in the Tomato Meter is that you have to have been doing it for at least 2 years, which is coming up in May
it's
of
coming up, yeah.
2023, and you have to have at least 200 reviews on Apple Podcasts. And we have about 30% of that. So we're like at 70 or so
That's
reviews.
up from 27%.
Thank you for doing the
Yeah.
math on that because I
So we need about 130 more Apple Podcast reviews. So if you are listening to us on Apple Podcast, please drop a review.
Please.
Maybe I should be more specific. Please drop us a good review.
Do they,
Yes, lie. It's okay.
it's okay.
It's okay in this.
do they have to be from different people?
Burner
Different
accounts
accounts.
are acceptable. So if you want to make a burner account. How many Apple IDs can one person have? I don't know how that works.
yes.
Yes, have them all.
Have them all.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Because then we could be the second review for American Ninja 3.
And maybe get it up to a 5.
It will probably still be 0. But, there's at least more of a
So if
pool
we
to pull
went
from.
positive, would it go 50?
It would be 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, yes.
Ooh, that's
Actually,
a lot
I
of
feel like we gotta do
responsibility.
this. I feel like
That is a whole lot of responsibility.
But it has to be 60 to be fresh, so it's still rotten.
Okay.
I don't care. I feel like we can do this.
Let's make this happen, Internet.
This is a goal
Okay.
that we can achieve.
There's all kinds of things that people ask you to do. What is a more noble quest than this?
Yeah.
The BMR tomato scale changers.
Yeah.
We could totally do it and make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
And on our new highest level of the Patreon, we will allow you to tell us what we write in that
Right.
review.
And you can become an influencer of Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't worry about
There you go.
Jerry's kids.
without jumping through all those
BMR.
200 review hoops or anything. Just money.
Besides that, there's all kinds of other ways that you can support the show. If you'd like to interact with us, you can email the show at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, all one word. You can also find us on the socials at Bad Movies Rule on Instagram and TikTok, on Facebook, same thing. If you'd like a more VIP experience, and to be honest, there's all kinds of things that we've been able to do here at the studio. specifically because of our patrons. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/badmoviesrule. You know, we're trying to expand our offerings, put more time into this, and we all have our jobs and things. And so any support really helps us be able to take the time to do extra things and make more content. So we really appreciate that. For as low as $3 a month, you can be one of our patrons and get access to bonus episodes, polls. You can vote on upcoming shows. You can even join in and submit your awards, which you'll see we have a couple people playing along with us from our Patreon tonight. Regardless, we're happy that you're here. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to dive into this movie.
This is supposed to be a new fancy, studio.
Yeah.
We're watching you and Joe on the screen.
Yeah.
Where's Clint and I?
You're just behind in the next window.
Yeah.
I can't see it, though.
It's
The
here.
better
I'll
looking
switch
one.
it.
We're not being recorded.
Is that better?
All right. Yeah. Now that we can't see you guys, it's
No, I
better.
can't see you two.
All right, let me just...
Come on now. Oh, see, hey.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's even worse.
Things have happened.
Okay, everybody but me. Perfect. Okay.
I've never sat in the middle before because I find myself doing this a lot now.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's welcome to my world. This is
This
literally
does
the whole
not
episode
happen.
is doing this.
This is the
You
first
don't like
time.
that, do you?
I don't.
All right,
why
so
I got
let's
here early.
let's dive into this, okay?
Let's dive in.
We're gonna have to. Well, no, everyone's gonna be lost if I don't give a synopsis of what's been happening so
You
far.
have to. You have to
the
at
plot.
least get us caught up on
Let's get
1
caught
and
up.
2. Just a quick little
All right, so
quick
You
thing. and then
need
go
the
to 3.
information.
that's right. In the first one, Michael Dudikoff fought some ninjas, right?
In barrels, even.
In barrels.
Barreled ninjas.
Steve
Ninjas.
James, they were in the army. He helped. He jumped a motorcycle. It
Yep.
almost broke a stuntman's
There's
face.
supposed to be some kind of specially trained,
They had
group.
color-coded ninjas.
Color-coded
they had,
ninjas.
they had a whole playground. They were like, "This is a skeleton. This
Yep.
is how you kill people."
Yep.
Didn't really go that well.
Steve James hated him for 1.5 minutes and then fell in love.
That's right. In the second one, they were trying to genetically engineer ninjas on an island.
Yep. Genetically engineer ninjas.
Yes.
Better ninjas.
And they were also sucky.
They were worse.
Multicolored ninjas.
And they're both army-based movies. Now, in
Yep.
this movie, Steve James is no longer in the army.
Nope. You took a break.
He took a break. He's now a civilian who goes around to karate tournaments swinging his karate swords around.
Yes.
Because he is the man who can conjure just blades from
manifest
anywhere.
them.
Yeah.
He did that in the second one.
He sure
I won't
did.
get into it, but yes. So the beginning of this movie, to set the scene, they start shooting this karate tournament in the same set that they used at the end of American Ninja 2.
Yeah.
they were like, after they defeat the bad guys, we're like, wow, this is a really nice place. I bet you we can turn this to a
like-
karate place here.
Yeah.
It's the same set.
It's the same
they just
set.
changed the signage.
I thought
enough.
one of the buildings looked identical.
Because it
like,
was.
I know
They put
that,
a
but I'm just
hole-
saying, like the original fight where he manifested the
it's
that triangle
Yes.
hallway room, like
It's the it's the same college college campus.
Right, it looks like a college library,
Yeah.
like in the hallway of, for sure.
yeah.
good stuff.
And so, what got me thinking, I was like,
They
I
just
wonder
kept the
if
keys.
that's what, no joke. I thought maybe they just stopped shooting part 2. And then they're like, all right, guys, we're going to start shooting part 3 immediately. So go ahead and get Michael and Steve. Oh, Michael already left? He took up.
Oh wait, your nephew's here?
We got somebody. What's this guy in the ninja
Check the
outfit over
parking
here?
lot. Check the parking lot.
There's
See
got
if
to
he's
be
still here.
Where's that muscular ninja? That one guy.
Yeah.
with
guy.
the
He did
muscles.
Really good.
So they
Take
just
your mask off. You're gonna
That's-
run some lines.
That's why Dudikoff's not in this movie.
Yep.
He left early.
They just started shooting immediately. Now, Joe, I love that you have not seen the first 2 movies,
Yeah.
right? So, as your perspective as someone that's coming in brand new, this isn't something that you would have been aware of.
Right.
But it is legitimately that arena this karate fight takes place in the beginning is the same arena where the whole ninja clan from the bad guys was in the first or in the second movie.
I just thought it was a worse Cobra Kai arena.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I initially was like, but I've seen the first one, so I saw that. I was like, hey, look, it's the Karate Kid friggin' tournament that they're watching here.
Right.
You know? Sweep the leg.
And so Sean, this is young Sean, who's, I don't know, 13, 17, I don't know.
Sitting next to a really strange old lady in a red dress that doesn't know what to do, who's
And-
constantly staring at the camera
I want to say also,
right off the bat. And I'm like, that's odd.
young Sean had a little buddy sitting next to him.
I think it's his little brother, maybe?
Yeah, he died.
they completely abandoned this kid. He's still sitting there in the stadium today, waiting for somebody to come back because the trainer guy just kidnapped Sean and took him off and trained him in the ninja way.
No. They made a movie out of that. It was called Joe Dirt.
All right, so Can we first talk about the voiceover for these kids?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hi.
Okay.
I'm a child. Where you going, man?
What's up?
What's up, guys? I'm a young 13-year-old boy.
Yes, but then the little brother was like, "What's going on? What are you doing?"
That was Steve James doing it.
Yeah, man.
What's
Hey,
going on?
we got to get some ADR work done on this scene, and we can't find the kids because we didn't pay them or write their names down.
They left
Can we,
already.
I think they left with Dudikoff.
Yeah.
Can we have literally anyone come in and do the? You could tell that was a voiceover.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
It was horrible.
Gosh, it was terrible. And so Sean, it's like they're watching this fight. They show Sean's dad. He's like in the other room,
Getting a
like
very loving massage.
from his trainer. Like,
I didn't
okay,
really understand. Yeah.
he's getting ready for a karate fight, so they're there to see dad fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a list here. That's just a laundry list of just whys.
Please,
Just whys.
We've jumped over the first 5 already.
No. We're good. We got. But the thing is, I have to work out the shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah.
So we got introduced to the new ninja's dad. Like, you couldn't be like, hey, this is my dad. Be like, no, just work on his shoulder. That's right. And we'll figure out later after he's shot.
that's right.
That is his
I'm gonna tell you
dad.
who this is.
Until that point, you're like, why are we showing this guy getting his shoulder worked
Right?
on?
Is he the new American Ninja?
We didn't know.
Don't know. There's no way
a
to
lot
know.
of this, and it was, oh my god, it was so great.
So Sean, while they're watching, he seems to like have a sixth sense that like he keeps looking over his shoulder to the back, like he senses danger or something. I don't know, right? So he gets up out of his seat and he tells his little brother, / old man,
Like, I'll be back.
I'll be back. And he goes out, and at the meantime, there are these, I don't know, terrorist Cobra and this guy that
Driving
just, like,
right down the middle of the road,
right down the middle of the street.
really splitting
In
the
cars
lanes.
that they stole straight out of, hey, man, can we get some of them baddie Mercedes, you know? Baddie McBad's cars.
That's right. And they're robbing the tournament, like the
Sports
They're gonna
book?
rob,
apparently, like,
they're robbing the
most
tournament with a bunch of fighters.
Profitable thing to rob is a
course
karate
there is.
tournament. We're going to get so much money from this karate tournament.
This is going to be amazing.
It's gonna fund
People
my
are
research.
literally spending $5s of dollars here.
The hot dog sales alone really made
Got to get that hot pretzel money.
hot pretzel money.
Got to get it. And he walks out there as the middle of this robbery is going on, like, you know, in the walkway underneath the chairs, basically, right?
Yeah.
And how do you even explain what happened to the scene? Because none of it makes any sense. The nuts and bolts of it, like nothing.
All he had to do was walk away, but instead he goes and grabs the kid and holds onto the kid. He's like, I'm going to use this little kid as a human shield.
Right. So he grabs Sean.
Yeah.
And he's got a pistol. And then dad appears out of nowhere with the trainer.
Yep.
Sean, no.
Yeah.
Right?
Sean bites
And the
him.
kid bites him.
And then runs off in a different direction. So the bad guy goes like, "Oh, you bit me. I'm gonna shoot that guy."
Right.
So many times, I felt like none of this needed to happen.
No, none of it.
And I didn't expect a fully automatic pistol either, right?
An amazing grouping for a fully automatic pistol.
Yeah.
No rise on that thing at all. He did
Nothing.
good.
The best
He was
part
definitely
about
pulling
this.
back on the stick.
So Sean's dad, his karate dad, gets blown away by this bald guy who later becomes General Andreas, who is one of the bad guys in the movie,
Yeah.
right? But at this point, we don't know who he is. But he gets blown away by this bald guy. And Sean, you'd have thought like he dropped his hot dog on the way back to his seat or something. That's about how upset he was.
Yeah.
I loved it when he was like, "Do something." It's like, what do you want me to do? Work on his shoulder? You know?
Yes.
Just massage his
I
shoulder
mean,
for
he
another
kind of grabbed his
half
ass
hour.
a little bit on the
He
way back to
did,
get
he
the
did.
kid, you know? So, I mean, he's like, I already did everything I know. I touched him lovingly.
I looked at him. I know he's dead. I mean,
maybe that's what Sean was more upset by.
I
It's
can't
like,
call
oh,
the police
now
or the
my
ambulance
dad's
or
not
nothing.
here,
He's
No.
dead.
and I got to go with this guy.
It's terrible.
It'd be too much work to call anybody for, any kind of emergency services.
No.
He's dead. Let's just call it. Move on. Next scene.
And so, as you mentioned, the Izumu, who is the trainer of his father, then takes Sean and immediately, like the next scene, he's training him in the way of ninja.
Right. Where did the little kid in the stands go?
He's still there.
All alone.
That's exactly
there-
what's up.
Okay. Sorry to
No.
sidetrack here again. Do you think there's a market for orphan children?
Joe, that's a weird question to ask,
This
man.
is, do you have some orphan children that you're looking to move?
I'm seeing like a lot of these movies. like
Got some
they get-
inventory?
like these ancient martial arts specialists just seem to come across all these orphan kids.
They really
And
do.
they're always in the right place at the right time to find these orphan kids. I feel like there's got to be a market for them or something.
There is, and I think anytime a Mr. Miyagi or somebody wants to find a new kid to teach karate to, they just go to like orphankaratekids.com or something.
I think so, yeah. So,
OrphanKarateKidFinder.com.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, he was in one of them. He got...
You're right.
Yeah, I mean...
in Bloodsport, he was an orphan
was
kid.
One. I mean, how many...
All of them. Even in Jim Cotta, remember the guy with the eagle that was training him?
Yep.
His parents were probably dead too. We'll just
Most
assume
likely.
he was it also. Oof, I don't know.
So,
So
look it up.
he's trained by this guy. He goes through the whole, training sequence as you do in these movies. And then once he's done training, they have the diaper ceremony where he's got to,
He puts a necklace of his toenail on it.
And apparently, in order to be a ninja, is like, there, now you're a ninja.
Well,
it.
you just have to
That's the
fight
ceremony.
with sticks for a little while, and then you're a ninja.
Walk this little plank here.
I'm like,
While I slap at your feet.
if
You're
that was
a
the
ninja.
case,
I love your
I
feet.
should have been a ninja like years ago.
maybe you are. Have you ever
maybe
tried?
you
Wait,
are.
that sounds like something a ninja would say to throw us off the fact that they're a ninja.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe number one.
Even in the scene, I love how everyone talks to each other in voiceovers, even when they're in the same room with each other. Like the trainer's like, and now you shall fight the way of the ninja. And it's like clearly a voiceover, but he's in the room
Standing
with
right
him.
next to him.
Like, why is everybody talking to each other in voiceover?
He's got it recorded. Pipes through a PA system.
He's like, hold on, it's going to start. I didn't realize it was rolling. There's a long
Hit play.
intro.
Hit play.
It's like the fitness gram pacer test.
The fitness gram pacer test.
What button do I push now?
It just starts rewinding. Sorry. All right, so that's kind of the setup
Yeah.
with the good guys. Sean,
Okay.
we're being introduced to as a young man. By the end of the montage, he's full-grown David Bradley, the actor. And Sean is basically, now that Dudikoff's not in here, the new American ninja.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, now we got to see what the bad guys are up to. And so they got to have their bad guy meeting in the laboratory.
Yes. In front of
know.
the coolest chemistry set ever.
Dude, it's just, I don't know where they got that from.
That is
It was
amazing.
awesome.
Willy
What
Wonka.
reaction are they looking for?
Willy
here?
Wonka gave it, on loan.
I imagine this meeting of all the American Ninja bad guys. Like, all right, so the
The yellow
tortilla farm did
falls
not
into the
work.
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Genetically engineered
Larry-
soldiers didn't work.
Larry, those genetically engineered, they were really a bust, buddy. Like, yeah, I
man.
know. It's my bad. Sorry, that sucked.
What do we have next?
I thought we'd do.
Chemical warfare? Anybody? We did chemical warfare already, didn't we? How did we not start here with chemical warfare?
This time we're going to just make a disease that turns people into ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds good. Let's
Sounds
do
good.
that.
Let's wrap it up. Let's do this.
Right.
This is the weirdest plot lines, the weirdest, I should say, plots by the bad guys in these movies.
Yes.
I mean, I guess the first one's your typical drug runners or whatever, but
I mean, it feels like they're spending so much money on trying to develop ninjas when they could just have the money and not need to go get money with ninjas.
If they just got some orphans, they'd have plenty of ninjas.
why don't they just go to orphankaratekidfinder.com?
You need one good ninja dude.
Can we have that come up as like a little prompt?
Oh, an ad. We need to do an ad in the back.
Ninjas.com.
Shipping and handling may apply.
Please allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery.
Yeah, so he's like, all right, so this time we're going to make this disease that turns people into ninjas, but we need to find a guy with muscles to make sure it works.
Yeah, we need to find the best of the best of the best.
Well,
of
they
the
even
best.
said- superhuman.
Yeah, they said superhuman. I'm like, can't you just
A
use
lot of
the
times.
ninjas from the second movie?
Right? You've got all
made them.
these, or it's, it's chemical, it's biological, whatever. How about just a human person, I think, is all
Yeah.
you need to test this on?
Right.
Nope. He's
like, no, we need a karate muscular
there's no
guy.
reason whatsoever that they needed a superhuman for this.
Or that they could find a superhuman.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
There's
just hold
no
it.
reason.
We'll just hold a karate
They
tournament
keep
on this small
saying
island.
this.
Fly
they
everyone
need
in.
it- Yeah. They keep saying this like it actually matters to the plot. I'm going to spoil it for you. It doesn't. It
There was a
means
plot?
Nothing to the plot.
You're right.
That he's this superhuman, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, maybe they need him to. They need his DNA.
His superhuman power was
Right.
what? Keeping a job with no skills?
Yes.
I'm like, hey, you
Yeah.
can act, right? Yeah.
He can pause really long in between his dialogue.
You see him walking on the plank, Joe?
Oh man.
Come on.
Well, I thought they were going to need him for, like I said, I thought they were going to need his DNA to create these clones.
Yeah.
Then breed these superhumans.
No.
No, they just need him there to test their stuff.
They're just going to shoot him up with the virus and see
For
if
no
it,
reason.
and see if it works.
To see if it makes him into a super ninja.
Like a zombie ninja. They're
but he's
zombie
already a ninja, so all that would prove is that they made him a zombie.
Yeah, but the zombie, a pliable one that will follow orders, I'm guessing.
Is that what it was?
It's not clear. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm having to kind of add pieces in to make it make sense.
If you started with the world's worst human and turned him into a good, pliable zombie ninja, I would think that'd be more effective than starting with somebody who's already a ninja.
Yeah, I don't know. But we get the quest.
Okay.
You guys remember the quest with Jean-Claude Van Damme? We get that now where it's like, we're just going to ship in all the best fighters to our island.
I love this.
Yes.
And
It's always
and
the
then,
best idea.
We'll have a karate tournament and then we'll be able to figure out who it was, which they also didn't need to do because right away she's like, hey, this guy's on the cover of this magazine. We could just have him.
You could just get this guy.
We could just get this guy.
What a great idea, though. It's like, we're going to try and pull off this nefarious idea. Let's bring some of the strongest people in the world right to our little island.
Yes.
And maybe stop us. Possibly. If
But
this
first,
doesn't go well.
We'll screen him with this one girl who just can smell the
That's right.
superhuman.
Oh, Chan Li.
Yeah, she's like,
She's like the head ninja, which is the
I was
first time.
so wishing that Charles was on this episode
Yeah.
because, like, the glasses off.
the glasses off.
So
Yeah,
much.
she did it, Charles.
There's so much of that in this movie.
Yeah, and this is our first time the head, because the first head ninja was
Ninja.
Yeah, it was Ninja with the
Right.
droopy eye Ninja, right? And then we got the guy. What was the guy that pulled the shotgun out in the last one? Remember him?
Mr. No Legs.
Mr. Loglegs Ninja.
Ninja. And
With
now we
legs.
actually get a girl. So this is played by Michelle Chan. This Chan Li. So it's her real last name is her first name in the movie. It's confusing. So I might mess it up throughout the thing. But she's like, oh, don't worry. Me and my ninjas will figure this all out. We'll get you your guy. Okay. This, from a screenwriting standpoint, the next thing that happens had me dying. Okay. They're just like, how can we get all these guys together? Let's just have them all meet and be like, oh, are you all the main characters in this movie? Cool.
Yeah.
Let's all be friends. And that's literally how it goes.
I'm like, where were they? Like bus station? Like
They're at the little airport.
I don't know. But they're just like, we're going to do away with any kind of, we're just like, oh, hey, are you a main character in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, I'm a main character.
No,
We're all
you're-
friends now.
You're Joe, too. We're main characters. You're the second Joe. You're backup Joe.
That's literally what they did. They were strangers to each other.
And we're best friends
Standing in line, and then they were best friends.
Yeah.
yeah, they
Immediately.
acted as if they've known each other for forever.
I know. It was awesome.
Well, I guess
This your first tournament?
with
no, I
Steve
guess
James.
they've done a lot of tournaments.
It was like Curtis Jackson,
Yeah.
right? So we get Steve James back from the first two movies. Then we get Sean. I'll just call him by his character name. Sean, the new American Ninja's there. And then we have Dexter. Okay. Let me talk to you about Dexter for
Great guy. Heartthrob of the group.
He's the punching bag of this thing.
The real heartthrob of the group. Yeah.
But he has one skill, and we learn about it later.
You're right. He does have one usable skill. That's correct. Besides being a catching mitt for fists,
and other things.
which we'll find. Dex, he's like, hey, I should say, hey guys, we're all Americans, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he sounded like a cop that was trying to blend into a friend group. That's the way his whole.
I'm not a cop.
I'm definitely not a cop, guys. Let's
Great.
hang out. That was Dex. That's
Guys
how he
want to
performed.
smoke the green stuff?
Every scene.
Where can I get some?
All right, so this karate tournament literally lasts for one scene. One scene.
Yeah.
They see him fight the one guy, Sean fights Joe from the UK.
Yeah.
And that's the only fight we see in this entire tournament.
This is the best
Yep.
fight in the whole movie.
It was.
This guy is superhuman, but is constantly getting his butt kicked.
Dude, David Bradley is a martial artist. This is what I don't understand because
Yeah.
he knows
How can
martial
he
arts.
not fight? That was my first thing I looked up. I was like, oh, this guy never did any actual fighting. No,
But he did.
not true.
But he looked, compared to Dudikoff, the fighting was terrible.
We need to rename the award again. Wait.
I'm talking just about his fighting style. Do you know what I'm saying?
Did I say
Almost
that?
every fight, and Joe, I don't know how you felt about this, but almost, and not just this first one, because the first one was decent because there were two actual martial artists here.
Yeah.
But every fight he had after this with ninjas or whatever,
yeah.
they're like always like crouched down really low, and their kicks are just
And,
Weird
and
and
it's like whenever he would go to like snap their necks, or whatever, the guy's like, "Oh, let me jump into your arms."
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
There were moments where he's doing, and he would string a kick into a different type of kick, and you'd see some of the
and you're like,
actual
okay.
skill and ability.
or
and
the
he-
athleticism at
Yeah,
least.
the athleticism for
Yeah.
sure. But like it's there was so much stop, wait. Like legitimately, the people filming it were like, no, slower.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
No, that's
Sorry.
what I was going to say. I think more of the fault probably lies with how it was shot and the director and the editing,
Right.
Yes.
where you can make anybody look ridiculous if you're not shooting it or cutting it from the right angles.
Exactly.
Oh, I was literally thinking, like, when I watch this movie and we see that first opening fight and we see him, we're like, okay, this dude's pretty quick, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every other fight, I'm like, when did he just become
They probably
so
accidentally
slow?
gave him the injection for real. And then for the rest of the fight, he's just like, wait, what?
It was like in old school and he shot him something.
Dude, you got a freaking dart in your neck.
You guys are crazy.
I love you, man, but you're crazy. You're crazy.
That's what happened. And the U.S. judges looked like 14-year-olds that just got back from the beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Why do they need judges?
I don't know. There's just whoever wins the fight because the ref is calling the points.
And the thing too, it was like 2 national champions, and the fight is settled by 2 hits.
But yeah,
Well,
exactly.
That's correct.
Just hit him twice.
Like, oh.
You're good to go.
All
Like
right.
at Cobra Kai, at least they give him 3 hits.
Right.
I mean,
Point. All right, next point wins. I'm like, what? The guy flew all the way to this island. It's almost over, man. All right, let's get into this. So they Dex, okay, so they go outside after this tournament, and Dex spots a couple of ladies sitting out at a table for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Dex's game here? He was like,
Hey, look at my friends. Can we join you for lunch?
hey, ladies, he's my buddies. He's a karate champion. Cool, let's have some drinks. That's literally, it sounds like I'm exaggerating.
The seat is wet now. 'Cause that's the hottest thing I've ever heard come out of you.
Okay, it seems like I'm exaggerating, but I swear
got me.
maybe by
No, that was
10%,
dialed in.
maybe by 10% of what's actually like how it is in the movie.
No, that's about right. That's
Yeah.
about 100%.
They sit down immediately.
It's
Steve
that
James
bad.
is like holding the girl's
Yeah, he
hand.
just goes straight into, yeah, baby.
What's up, baby? And I buy in a second. I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
I think that's Steve James.
that tracks.
Yeah.
But not Dex at all. Dex looked like he was 47 years old. Okay, he had like the.
What are you trying to say?
What? That these guys were supposed to be a lot younger than that, and he looked like the guy that was 20 years older than everyone else in his friend group.
We had bald
looked pretty young.
buddies at 30.
Yeah. He was pretty young.
They're so sensitive about their age. Do you know what I'm talking about?
nope, because I'm not as old as you guys.
That's right. You're still in
Joe
your
number
20s.
1, tied game.
Here we go. All right, so they're having lunch with these ladies, and Sean sees Izumu, his trainer, stuffed into the back of a limousine
Yeah.
Right.
by some
Broad
nefarious
daylight.
characters.
Yeah.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
Total strategery here, right?
He's like, all right, I'm dipping, and I'm going to chase this cab or whatever, and he does.
At first, it didn't even seem like he was sure if he was going to chase. He like went and he was like, maybe. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stuff him in the back of a hearse, by the way.
Oh, that's right. It was a hearse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this ridiculously awesome hearse.
So it was the roomiest car they could have stuffed him in.
Right. So he was comfortable.
He was pretty comfy, and so he follows him to this hotel.
Yeah.
Right. He gets the room from yelling at the guy.
He does the standard cab, like, hey, can you follow him?
Yeah, keep up with that guy.
The cab. He doesn't even
Pay the guy.
Doesn't pay
Ever.
the cab guy.
No.
Yeah,
Don't
he
even
gets
see the
out,
cab guy.
walks straight in.
It's just like Americans.
It's the last time I'm doing this.
Put that on your tab.
But this is a weird scene until you realize what's happening. He walks into the room and he was Azuma was manhandled to get into the room. Then he gets in the hotel room and he's just sitting there meditating on the bed.
Yeah.
And he walks up. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he's like, and Azuma looks at him like all confused and like,
Oh, what the hell are you doing?
what are
here?
you
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening here?
Right. He looks out the window. There's
And then
ninjas.
two of the worst. Ninjas are supposed to be sneaky.
But if he himself is a ninja and karate champion, how much does he suck to get sucked out of the window by these sucky ninjas?
Okay, this is you here for Ninja Assassin.
Yeah.
So the most
made me
hyper
go squeaky
capable
voice.
ninjas ever depicted on film.
Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were scary. They're almost like monsters.
Yeah, I think ninjas are like vampires. Sunlight kills them.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. They're like the shadow demons and Ghost. Come out and they pull down Patrick Swayze and all that crap. That's what ninjas are supposed to be.
Yes.
These
How many times have you
So
watched
watching these ninjas operate in broad daylight is weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
you nailed it. They are the most unninja ninjas.
Maybe they
have
always suck
ever
like
been
that and you
ninjas.
just can't see.
They make all this noise of like, we're sneaking out the window.
Right.
He realizes and they get into a fight.
them like running back into the compound.
Oh,
They're
let's
like,
get.
oh, those ninjas just
Yeah.
directly running out in the middle of the open?
Yeah, they're just running, and there's people casually walking past them.
And
Like,
it's,
no
it's
big
like
deal.
65 feet away. You know what I mean? Like he gets up on top of this
That's
thing,
ahead of- yeah,
follows
sorry.
him.
Yeah, you jumped.
We're
but
getting
that's
ahead.
all right.
We're getting
okay.
ahead. We're getting ahead.
No, let's talk. We might as well talk about it now because we've let the cat out of the bag. There's a scene later on in the movie where Sean, after they fight all these ninjas, is standing up on top of like this, I don't know, trucking container or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, shipping
right. And he shipping containers like, hey guys, I see where they're going, and I died. I laughed because they cut.
absolutely freaking
And it was almost there's just these three ninjas just running straight into bad guy headquarters.
Yeah.
Right, like in the
There
front door.
they are.
Yeah, that wasn't the. I was talking like when
All the
they're dragging him up on the roof. They're dragging
Yes.
the master up on the roof.
Yes.
And they're only. It's like 65 feet to the next corner of the building, and then he
Right.
stands there and fights these other two ridiculous ninjas off the ladder.
Right.
For like
They're the
3.5
worst
minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like, Sean, help me.
Yeah.
And you go, and it's like another
they were-
35 feet away, and they're just now getting him drugged through the door.
And he did not seem like he was in any danger at all. Izumu.
Yeah.
He's like, Sean, help.
The only thing that is worse than the fighting of the ninjas is that dude's Sean, help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's great
Let
is
me-
every time he took 10
gonna
steps, he
reenact
went around a
this.
corner, and there he is. I wanted the chase to just keep going. Like, no
Right.
matter where he is, they're always 30 feet ahead of him going,
Right.
Sean, help me. Like,
Sean.
they get all the way
Sean,
to freaking,
help
like,
me. Like,
Paris.
Sean.
They're in Paris, France, and he's running up to the Eiffel Tower. Sean, help me.
Sean,
he gets to the
help
top.
me.
Now they're coming down the bottom. Sean, help me. He's getting stuffed in a cab all the way to America.
You're putting way too much emphasis
He takes
on it.
he goes
Like,
to sleep because it's just
Sean,
late. So he's in a
help me.
hotel room. He wakes up in the middle of the night to take a leak. Sean, help me.
And then
the
he
guy's
dragged
just like
down the
going down the
hallway.
kitchen.
Sean, help me.
It's like,
No matter where he is, they're always 35 feet away,
Yeah.
going around the next corner, for the rest of the movie.
Did you catch a little snafu?
No.
When he gets up top and he's kind of going around the corner, and it's got that long, over the top of the roof.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually see the two ninjas and the guy sit there and wait for their cue to move.
No.
As he comes around a corner, and as he comes around a corner, all of a sudden they go, oh, okay, and then they start walking.
Oh, I missed it.
Yep. It's real short. But
I
it's
did
there.
like when he goes up the stairs to the roof to try and chase out Sean, help me. He's trying to help Izumu.
yeah.
He gets to the top, and the guy's fighting him at the top of the stairs, and it's a long drop
Yeah.
down to the bottom. And he does that WWE, like when they're trying to get somebody out in the Royal Rumble, and he's got his one leg up.
Yeah.
And then it's like the fake, I'm trying to put you over the top rope, but it's not actually going to work.
I'm just going to hold on to the
I'm just
railing
gonna
and
hold on
muscle you back down somehow.
I just laughed so hard because I'm like, that is the move when they're trying to get dudes out of the Royal Rumble
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
And that doesn't work then either. But of course he doesn't catch up. They end up getting to the water. He chases them all the way to the beach,
Yeah. Yep.
down the dock. Sean, help me. They're going down the dock.
Sean, help me. Sean, help me.
Eventually Izumu disappears and it's just the two ninjas and they end up having a fight in the water.
Dude, I watched this movie with my wife, and as they're fighting under the water, she's like, "Are they in an aquarium right now?"
Yeah.
I was like, good
They're
thing
literally in an aquarium at Rainforest Cafe.
That's right. They did not shoot that in the
they're at
actual
Bass
ocean.
The Bass Pro. They're supposed to be in the ocean.
Just
see
wanna see some kids
a
there.
bass go by or a carp. Like, is that freshwater
Got those
fish?
perfect rock formations with the tunnels and
Oh my gosh.
I thought he was gonna punch a fish.
Well, what he does is he does this
Double
two-fisted
punch, yeah.
double leap lunge punch underwater. Which you know how hard it is to get force behind a punch underwater?
Aquaman could do it.
Well, sure, but Sean Bradley or
He is
David Bradley is not Aquaman.
superhuman.
He's superhuman.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
He's superhuman.
He's superhuman.
Okay, the zooming water double punch was great then.
his superhuman power is following people by 35 feet,
He kills them both.
no matter where they go. Yes.
He does because they just
The
float
one guy
up.
doesn't even
He
float
literally
up.
just punches them in the face, and they're just
One of them doesn't even come up. Just the one comes up. The other one's still down.
Did you see the ninja's white underwear showing? I couldn't let his shirt comes up, his pants are kind of half
Yes.
down. You see the tidy whities, it's like, hey,
This is good
you're
stuff.
a ninja. You gotta have
Good
support.
stuff. Sean runs back to where his friends are eating with the ladies. Now there's like 19 ladies there instead of 2. You know, I'm
Steve
like,
James.
And a couple
hilarious.
dudes.
A couple dudes. And he's like,
They got
hey,
range.
hey, Jackson, hold on. Here's my whole backstory. My trainer, who's been my friend since my dad was killed, is here, and now the ninjas are after us.
Oh, ninjas, you say, huh?
Right. Here we
Again?
go again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And this, look,
well, that was my instance of oh, this guy was in the last movie.
That's right. And they have this other ninja fight in like, I don't know what, a train yard or a truck, just trucking like pallets and stuff around, and
Like a hobo camp. Yeah. Shipping container hobo camp.
So it's Dexter and Sean and Jackson against all these ninjas.
Yeah.
And
This would have been the perfect time for the multicolor ninjas to come because you
Yes.
see all the colors of the box. No, it's just all.
There were multicolored
Nighttime
ninjas
ninjas.
at the beginning, but no bright
All
colors.
nighttime ninjas in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember
That's
how
why
the
they
color
sucked.
coding worked. I was like, is the blue ones the ones that sucked, or are they which was the starter
They all
ninjas?
sucked.
They all suck.
I know.
The white ones
There
with the
was like
white
a
belts.
level of,
Yeah.
of the sucky ones. The
Yeah.
red were like the best ones I remember.
Yeah.
Even though Dudikoff still took them apart in about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are the good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they all kind of disappear and reappear, and you got these three guys fighting all these ninjas.
Then the ninjas like up here to be like,
Yeah.
hey, we're over here.
Yeah.
And then they disappear.
And then they disappear.
Yeah.
Come
I don't
find
know
us.
Like if you were a ninja and three guys walk in and then they're like, what's going on here?
That was the best like ninja-ing we saw. They appeared and then just completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, they disappeared.
No smoke, no nothing, just
Right.
gone.
So you get Sean, he's on top of one of these trucking containers fighting with nunchucks and like one of those staffs with a blade on it.
The
Yeah.
nunchuck guy
Yeah.
is up there and he's like, huh, I have nunchucks.
Yeah.
Here, take
Oh,
it.
yeah, he doesn't even do that. He just takes them out and then he catches it. It's like, okay.
Take these.
now Sean's got
Now
him,
you've
right?
got nunchucks.
Need these.
That's
Next scene.
terrible.
You're gonna need these for the guy with the pull staff.
Jackson gets his shirt off in every scene. There's a fight, like
Dude,
every
3
single
seconds
scene.
it was off.
He's like,
done.
"Boop, this is
And
done."
then picks it up immediately once the fighting's done. I was like, nope. You
is
ain't paying me to be shirtless.
It's
We're
not
not
even.
fighting.
It's not even like that. It's like there's even scenes where he takes off his shirt, it cuts, and then his shirt is back on in the next scene. It's like what the heck? We don't even see him put the shirt back on.
he just grows another
Nobody's
one. That's what
interested in
happens.
watching him put his shirt
That's
back on. Is
his
what it
superpower.
is.
That's a superpower.
He can manifest things. And so he's taking on like 7 ninjas
He just
by
manifests
himself.
a shirt.
Right? Sean's basically fighting the same
That's why he's
ninja.
constantly taking them off. Otherwise, he'd have 15 shirts on.
Right.
Can we talk about how Jackson is apparently not superhuman because he definitely took out the most ninjas?
He should be the next American ninja.
He is the
He's a monster.
the superhuman one.
Like
Right.
in this movie, he is like an absolute monster.
Why did they need to get this other guy? It should have just been a Steve James movie. If Dudikoff's out, give him the lead. Why'd we have to bring in this other guy?
Right.
That's my
I
big
don't want to
beef
say
with the
it.
movie.
I don't want to say.
I know you know why.
Are you saying it's because it was the 80s?
Maybe.
Maybe
Times were different
They
back
think
then?
that he could have carried the box office, but man,
Steve James should have been.
Steve James should have been the lead.
ultimate
The fact that he had to play second banana to David Bradley, who I know
Crazy.
who I know has his fans, and he's kind of a cult guy. He's done a bunch of martial arts movies.
You got to be careful. It's going to be another French thing. Don't dog this guy.
I'm not dogging him. He's way better than French Stewart. I'm just saying. No, I just said. No offense to David Bradley, but this should have been Steve James's movie.
This should.
After
Yes.
doing 2, he deserved it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And he just takes everybody apart in this movie. Now, Dexter is so sucky in this scene.
He barely gets this guy.
He throws one roundhouse kick, and they had to cut because he was going to fall over.
Yeah.
Like literally, he goes, and they cut because the next second was him eating it from throwing one kick.
And Sean like walks off this way. We're actually going to go this way with our main man here. And then it's like, hey, you go that way. And he like just lurks off behind the containers and everything
Right.
away from all the action. It's like,
Right.
I'm hanging out over here, guys.
Dex is terrible.
Yeah.
He's like the annoying little brother, but
He
he's
is.
older than all of them.
Yeah.
But he occasionally, but these ninjas, how much do they suck if some of them get beat up by Dexter?
Right.
They're bad.
Right? I mean, they're going to be like sitting back at the ninja break room later and you'd be like, man, that was a tough one. I can't believe you see how we had to fight Steve James. That was crazy.
New Joe got beat up by Dexter.
Right. And then you see New Joe over the back. He's like, yeah, that was a tough fight. Shut up. You fought Dexter.
Yeah.
We were fighting Steve James.
Yeah.
The ninja school dropouts.
Honestly, they all get kicked out. That's how you get in or not. All right.
If you
so
beat Dexter.
also, I kind of wanted Steve James. At one point, he was sword fighting with the scabbard from the guy's sword. Like,
Yeah.
he took the scabbard
In a very aggressive way.
in an aggressive way. I kind of wanted him to. I wanted him to stab the guy with the scabbard of the sword. That's what the level at which he was fighting at. Or he just would have just forced it through him. That would have been amazing.
I can say that Steve James's attempt at comedy, they tried to make this movie a comedy. The man delivered jokes.
He had some one-liners.
They just didn't really
Yeah, I
line.
mean, I laughed at them because it was
American
ridiculous.
Ninja.
Right. They
Right.
were ridiculous. But it was like legitimately, he was the only one that they gave any kind of humorous line to.
Yes. And so when Dex notices the three ninjas running straight into the front door of bad guy headquarters, I'm like,
Right
literally,
there.
this hobo yard they fought in was right in the front yard of this headquarters, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's right there. They are. But Sean is like, no, wait, it's salmon jitsu. It's mind karate or
This is
whatever,
too
right?
easy.
He's like, this is too easy.
Yep.
It's all these different kinds of jitsus they talk about in this movie.
Yes.
Yep.
These aren't real, are they?
No, I don't know.
They gotta be.
This guy's
I
doing,
don't know.
This guy's doing mind karate to us right now. We're not going to chase him in there.
My favorite jitsu comes out at the end of the movie.
Tell me about that when we get there. That'd be awesome. All right, so what do? They spend a couple of pointless scenes poking around with the authorities, right? Sean goes to talk to the ministry secretary. Everybody they go to is like, whoa, this ABC Labs or whatever. They just Bay Labs, East Bay Labs.
Yeah.
They're like, they just make drugs, but the good kind that heal people.
That guy, the main bad guy, he had a great line.
Oh, did he?
He was talking about how dangerous this guy is and how powerful he is. He's doubly powerful. He's not only
Because of mind and body.
because he's mind and body powerful.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's
Stuff.
some
Cobra.
good writing right there. Careful, guys. He's doubly powerful.
And I'd like to also make note that the
I
secretary,
can't talk.
Yes.
the secretary of the interior,
Yes.
she did the
She did the glasses
Charles
thing
glasses
too.
thing again.
Well,
too.
Charles would have
Do
loved
we know
this.
why? I'm
What?
like,
I don't know why.
well, it was like, my wife was like, "What is up with all these women doing the glasses thing?" I'm like, I literally said, I'm like, well, she has to be the one girl in disguise. And then there's another,
And then it is.
and then there's another scene,
this guy.
and my wife is like, she's like, no. And then there's another scene where they're both in the same room. She's like, see, I told you. But then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then we find out. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at the big brain on Joe.
I'm just sitting here.
Joe number
At-
one. Take
at
the
the-
lead.
At the beginning of the movie, when they show her,
Sorry, I swore.
when they
I had to bleep
show
that.
her do the glasses thing, I'm like, okay, this is painfully long. Like she's just staring at him for so long.
yes.
I'm like, dude, how are you a ninja and you don't see her just gawking at you?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
They're not very good ninjas. None of them. Really.
So I figured that had to be something
That's smart,
kind
man.
of important.
Jackson then also goes to the police, and it's a lovely scene with some smashing acting by the police chief. And he's just,
I thought the scene was hilarious. The one dude that's just sitting
You're
there.
breathing my air,
Yeah,
man.
breathe my air, man. Yeah. Here, take this
Take some money and go see a movie.
go to the movie.
Cheer up.
And that guy, all he does is just stand there, stares at him. Like I would have been cracking up just from.
Right in his hip pocket too. So Jackson's trying to talk to the police chief, and the police chief's like blazed out of his mind. Right? He's just sitting
Yes.
back going, "Man, whatever you're gonna do, I just wouldn't do it, man. You know,
I
Like,
wouldn't suggest it.
I wouldn't suggest it. Why don't you just go back and chill, man? It's all good."
buddy. Come here to forget
The
things.
whole time, the other cop is
It's like breathing in his
breathing
ear.
in his ear. She's like, "Hey, man, here's some money. Go to the movie or something." He's like, "If you guys don't give me the answers I like, then I get more nosy, right?
Yeah.
And all that stuff." And he's talking smack to these cops, and ultimately they don't tell him anything,
Yeah.
and he leaves. So the ministry of the secretary, whatever, secretary of the ministry, dead end for them. They're trying to go through the authorities basically,
Right.
and none of it's really working. This next scene was one of my favorites.
So this
This is
things are really getting bad now.
Bad guy meeting number 2 at the laboratory.
Oh.
And this is like an infomercial for terrorism. Okay, this is literally, I'm going to play it up a little bit, but this is the line. If you haven't tried our kind of terrorism before, you haven't tried terrorism. No more inefficient hijackings, no more bungled kidnappings or mistimed bombings, because you will see now that terrorism can be scientifically focused to be totally effective.
That's so good. It's just Billy Mays here. everybody.
I am sold.
That's literally
That's the kind of
speech.
terrorism
After
I
that, they
want.
filmed Slapshot.
Well, yeah,
You're gonna love
I heard
mine.
that. I heard that, and I was like, "Wait, is that actually what he said?" And I didn't rewind it because I didn't want to watch it again. So
I get that. I get that.
Again, I think it was funny.
Just inject COVID-19 into these ninja zombies
right.
you see in the man thongs, and you're ready to go.
Yes.
And the same ridiculous chemistry set has moved into this room. None of the colors have changed at all.
No, not at all.
No reaction has happened.
Yeah, the bad guys' plans in this whole series are always so dumb. Why do they have these dudes in thongs just standing around the room? with like psoriasis all over them.
Yeah.
I think that was depicting the stages of the disease taking over.
How much did those guys get paid?
All right,
Oh, dude.
I'm guessing not a lot.
not 300,000 because that was the
No.
total.
They didn't spend any money on the lab equipment or those guys
And
standing
there's
there.
one guy in the background that had to be really still because he was in the whole shot, the two
Oh
shot
my
when they're talking.
gosh.
Are you talking
And
about the
could
blue ninja?
And you could tell. No, this is
like
one of the
shallow
this is one of
breathing?
the he's like shallow breathing. He's one of the
Yeah.
thong guys.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
you can see he's just like, don't breathe.
Oh, yeah.
Don't breathe. But his stomach is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you get there's the one blue ninja in the back just standing like this.
Yes.
And it's like, what are you doing?
The traditional
Being a
ninja
ninja.
pose of
Make sure these thonged dudes don't do anything. That's my job.
Make sure that guy's
All right,
balls
so
don't hang out.
it is the blue ninjas that are the worst.
The
thing.
worst,
It gotta be.
because they pulled thong duty, and that's not.
Now, did you guys notice the artwork in any of these rooms? They were all
there was
black
the
marble.
one very obvious.
the
all
all
I seen.
the all lady bodyscapes all over the place.
yeah,
in
all
this
over the
movie?
entire place.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't catch that.
Oh,
I was
Ridiculous.
too busy.
that was
looking at
that was what
man
Bob
thongs.
was checking out. I'm sure.
All right, the next scene is the most unnecessary, ridiculous scene in the entire movie, which is saying a lot.
That's impossible.
Impossible,
right.
but just totally unnecessary.
What is it then?
the glider planes?
No, you glossed over the beach meeting.
Beach meeting.
The beach meeting.
They had a beach meeting.
Right up Steve James.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Oh
Steve James-
gosh!
man.
All
You mean when they were
mansplaining?
like, "This is the best camera angle we could do for this scene"?
And-
Yes.
Well, I skipped it because that scene meant nothing. Because
I-
all they did is like, "Well, I got nowhere with the cops. Well, I got nowhere with the secretary.
Look at my crotch.
Look at my crotch." That's the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but
That's
I'm
where they
like,
saw the
That's what's
parasailers.
immediately-
I'm like, oh, you're practically dad figures in trouble. Oh, let's just hang out on the beach.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
can't you
Yes.
like meet like somewhere more significant?
Well,
they
they see the paraglider at this point.
well, it's not. It's a what are those things called? Because not paragliders.
Well, it's
they're,
not paragliding, but it's got
they're like glider planes. They have motors,
yeah.
whatever.
They're propellers.
But I don't know what it's called.
It was
I don't know.
stupid, is what it was.
But they get up and they walk and they see this plane.
But they see
flying.
this, and their plan is, let's go break into this guy's house and ruin his business.
Let's steal his things.
Let's steal all of his stuff so he can no longer provide for his family.
Yeah, then we find out Dex's
These are the heroes,
One power.
people.
Yeah, it's a good thing Dex is a level 100 lockpick.
well,
Yeah.
Right?
and they're like
He doesn't even look. He doesn't even barely touch the thing. And he's like, And Steve
It's not about what you hear, I can
and
tell
they're
you
like-
that.
They're like, Dex, do your thing. Like
Yeah.
I've known you for. Has this just casually come up in conversation
Yeah.
within the past 3 hours? Like,
On the beach.
Right, he met him at
Back at
lunchtime.
the bus station. Like, hey guys, hey, nice to meet you. I'm a locksmith.
Yeah.
and it hasn't been nighttime yet, so I'm assuming this has all been in an afternoon.
Yes.
All
Right.
one day.
They met at lunchtime.
all one day.
All this has happened so far. Oh my gosh. All right, so they go and they into this guy's barn. I don't know how they knew where the guy lived. They just chased on foot after this glider plane.
They got it.
Figured out where the guy lived.
Right.
Sure.
Hack into his barn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dex could
Steal
have
his
been,
truck.
Dex could have been replaced with bolt cutters.
Bolt cutters full of dirt.
If your character can be replaced with an inanimate object, that's not good.
I'm pretty sure they would have taken out more ninjas too.
Yeah, so they steal his truck and his two glider planes. And Dex and Sean go up in the glider planes, and Jackson is going to drive the truck, and they're all going to meet at East Bay Labs. Okay. There's no point for Dexter to be up in the air.
No.
Okay. But the gas line starts to leak or whatever, and the engine goes.
There's a whole bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
they're wearing these completely blacked out goggles.
Because it wasn't them.
Because it wasn't them.
Right.
And like face shields, like
Yes.
paintball, like 80s paintball face shields.
They were going to have these guys fly these things.
Hell no. but yeah, so then
They rent them out to people who have never done it before. You know what I mean? It's like, no, not these guys.
I mean, they could even like just shoot everything from a far angle and then get some close-ups.
No.
Nope. They're all just let's just cover their
So let's
face.
just put the pilots in masks and do a voiceover. They love a voiceover in this.
yeah.
Yeah.
That saved them a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the dweeb, his paraglider or whatever,
Yeah.
starts having
Like the
engine
bulb or whatever you squeeze.
Well,
to-
Yeah,
no,
the fuel line's
the
got a
fuel
cut.
line's got a crack in it.
It's
and
got a cut in it,
spewing-
an inch and a half above the fuel ball.
Yeah,
Minutes
and
after they take off.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like,
it's
how did that happen? That's
spewing
amazing.
Fuel, and he's like, "Well, just keep cranking it; it'll go." Like, no, it won't.
I'm like, oh yeah, you just became
have-
a master of this particular.
right. He's a
vehicle.
glider plane scientist.
Yeah, but I don't understand how it's not physically possible. If you don't have fuel going to the carburetor, it won't run. But for some reason,
You could see it fill the accumulator still. Like, you're good.
Keep squeezing.
I just want to just
keep pouring it all over yourself.
Just keep shooting out of it every time he squeezed it, and it gets all over. He's like, "Am I doing it right?"
And then he pulls it. It finally starts. He's on fire. That would be great.
That's what I was cheering for. I was like,
it's not a lawnmower where you can just keep cranking it and it'll eventually work.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, he's gonna crash. This is gonna be great." That's kind of my.
I was hoping so.
I was hoping.
Yep.
But we didn't because they have this plan, like just land the glider plane on the back of the truck because the road will tear it up if you land on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's surrounded by grass.
Yeah.
This completely flat plane that the truck's driving on.
Right.
Just you had this. You're about ready to crash, but here.
And who would care if it tore it
this
up
stunt.
anyway? You stole it.
Right.
You're not going to go give it back.
And it's the most useless character, so he's expendable.
It's the stupidest scene ever, other than the beach scene.
So
The beach scene was integral to the plot.
now
His crotch was integral to the plot.
Yes.
I'd never want to ever be that close to Steve James's crotch.
So now that I think about it, do the owners of those gliders have to land it on the truck every time they use it?
Maybe that's why
Where
the
do they
truck is
land it?
designed the way it is.
Where do they land it ever? You can't land it on the ground; it'll tear it up.
I'll tear it up.
We'll land it in a tree and climb down. That's
Yeah.
what we'll do every time.
There's
Cost me a fortune.
Just leave it. Just build a new one.
he just ditches it all out in the ocean and swims back.
And are these glider planes known for their stealth? Because they fly this thing right over the head of a ninja. Like he just kind of turns.
He must
to
have
the
turned
side.
off the motor.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
would
just-
assume they'd be pretty quiet when just.
If the motor's turned off, he
Two.
lands.
I just thought about this too.
Yeah.
They're gliders,
Yes, that's the point.
but if the engine stalls,
They still glide.
yes, it's not like they're
That's the
just gonna. They're not just gonna stop and.
Just don't.
That's the point.
Just
All right. So I don't remember the color codes, but there's blue ninjas on the roof. So I think those are the crummy
They're
ones.
the air ninjas.
And he
They're the ones that
literally
can't hear airplane.
They
he
blend into the
jumps,
sky.
He jumps on one. He jumps him unconscious.
actually, did you know, ninja fact? They're like dogs. They can't look up.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Jumps
I've seen
on,
dogs look up.
Sean jumps on this guy's back. He does not perform a karate move or anything. He literally just jumps on his back and the guy falls unconscious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
good
I'm
stuff.
like, all right, this is great.
So he must have had like a glass neck.
He was tired.
It wasn't even glass.
An excuse to
it
go
was,
to sleep.
It was spaghetti noodle.
I'm not fighting back. I
right.
get paid enough for this.
All right, so we can start getting to it here. He sneaks around the set of American Ninja 2.
Play dead ninjutsu.
Yes.
He finds the same arena that his dad died in,
Yep.
Apparently.
but it's not though.
It's in
but
a different
so
country.
Clearly the same.
It's the
right.
same one.
I'm
It's
like
the same folding table with the judges sitting on it.
everything.
Same judges.
Like same judge, but this is a different place. This is
Who's
not
judging
the,
the
place
Blue
from before.
Ninjas? What? I don't.
Wait, do you think there were judges or guys from a podcast?
Just they think they can
was-
use the same set for every scene. Every scene in 2 straight movies, they use the same set and think it's like, oh,
Bud-
this was a different place.
Budget.
I
Imagination.
understand that.
Imagination. No, it's clearly too obvious.
It's too obvious. All right, so he sneaks around. He hammer fists a couple of ninjas. They come out of the elevator.
Yeah,
and he just like donkey
Dude,
punches
yeah.
both of them.
And then they fall down the elevator, and then the doors just close.
They close.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he gets overwhelmed by ninja. And they tase the guy.
Well, he has ninjas. He's fighting these guys, right?
Yeah.
So he fights this guy, he fights that guy, he fights that guy. No big deal. Finally, 2 ninjas come flipping into the room. It's like, oh, these guys have a little bit of athleticism to them. Punches them in the sack. Both of them at the same time. It's like the first sign of resistance is like sack punch.
That's right.
Yeah, the amount of broken nuts I saw in this movie is ridiculous.
We saw the first one where literally Steve James ground a
Grind.
man's nuts into oblivion in
Yeah.
that movie.
Good stuff.
And he's just like, ah, while he's stomping on. Anyway, they capture him. They inject him with the ninja COVID and they put him on a boat. Long story short.
Right.
You're glossing over the casting couch.
We're already in an hour.
Oh, come on. There's so much.
All right, the casting couch. Tell me about the casting couch.
There was
he
a
wait-
casting couch.
He wakes up on the couch.
Yes.
Why the couch? Because then they pick him up and they take him to a room and put him on a bed. Why?
Why not start in the bed?
Why did he start it? Why not start in the?
That's so that we
on
could
the
get
bed.
this shot of the naked
the
lady
marble
casting.
the black marble room with the black
That's
leather
what it
couch.
was. They paid a lot of money to use that
Yeah,
room.
I'm gonna put that couch in the movie.
The couch in the movie. You know how much they're charging us to rent this library? Literally, I fully believe that arena they've used in 2 movies and where his dad got killed is like the atrium of a library.
It is.
somewhere.
I don't know.
It has to be.
All I know is 1980 had a lot of black marble. Like that was the pinnacle
It was.
of being
No,
rich.
it's just one room. They just used it all.
All of it. All right, anyway, we got 1 hour.
All right,
We've been here for 1 hour, guys.
That's right.
Come on.
Now, the ministry secretary, so he gets stuck on a boat. They stink him on a boat to see if he dies from this disease or turns into a terrorist ninja or whatever.
Just leave him on the couch. Leaves him on
Just leave
yet
him
another
there.
couch.
Just leave him there.
That doesn't make
The ministry secretary comes in
sense.
and is like, I want in on this evil action, so cut me a check.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I need some money. And so Cobra, the bad guy, is like, okay, yeah, sure. As soon as she leaves the room, kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his henchman, what's his
Cure
henchman's
her.
name? I don't remember, like his right-hand man.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cure her of that ailment.
Of the ailment
Yeah.
of life.
Of knowledge.
Of knowledge, whatever.
Yeah.
By the time she walks out of the building, he's already in his car in the parking lot.
I made that note in my head, and I was like, wait, I assume they have a similar walk, distance-wise, from where they're going to where they are. He's already there and has a ninja buddy sitting shotgun.
Right.
And after the fight, he's back next to the main guy,
Right.
like in no time
No
whatsoever.
time flat. He teleports. This is what we're saying. Dr. Phil's a teleporter.
Yep.
We're finding out these people in this movie are superhuman.
That's
Right?
what they're talking about. The superhumans. Oh,
It's like a pre-X-Men.
That's it. But we find out after
Simpsons did it.
when Dr. Phil follows the ministry secretary and they have this, I guess you call it a car chase. There's a cool explosion when the car crashes. That it's not actually the ministry secretary. Not a cool explosion.
Well, the car exploded.
Yes.
No.
Both
Yeah.
of them. Well, it was
car
an
went through an explosion.
off the barrels. Yeah. And then they
The ramp
get
behind the
up and
barrels,
they're,
classic.
then they're walking out, and the only one that dies is the ninja.
It's too close to the explosion when it
Well,
happened.
he was totally fine. Then the explosion is like, oh shit, I was supposed to die.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it was basically like a Power Rangers stunt. They get the
Yeah.
sparks behind them, then they do
Yeah.
a backflip, and it's like, oh, okay.
We find out after that happens that the secretary ministry, the ministry secretary is actually Chan Lee.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like, when did this become Mission Impossible? She pulls the mask off and everything.
I
And
can't
was
believe
like,
Mission Impossible so totally ripped that off.
they totally ripped off American Ninja. Now I can't like Mission Impossible anymore.
Except for they could only afford 2 masks. In
That's
this
it.
movie.
This is the same mask. They had to reuse it twice.
Glue
They
it
had to
back
glue it
on.
back together. And so
No, peel it carefully from the edges.
Yeah.
what I forgot about, though, is now it's been an overnight. It's now daytime that Sean has been captive of these ninjas or whatever. And then we cut to Dex and Jackson are still waiting outside the building.
Wait. What do they need? Let's just do some more time. Let's wait some more.
Give them 5 more
Give them
minutes.
5 more minutes. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Like, what,
Hey.
they sleep in a bush?
Hey, man, no news is good news.
That's right.
Right?
What?
Woo, no news is good news.
No news
He's
is
being
good news.
tortured, killed, casting couch.
Right.
You know,
He's
everything.
already been on the casting
he's on
couch.
he's on the boat by now. That's all right.
He's literally gone.
No news is good news, man.
In fact, it takes Chan Lee
movie's
showing
easy.
up. Chan Lee has to show up and be like, you're going to be waiting a long time. Your boy's captured. By the way,
shit.
I'm good now.
Yeah,
So-
I'm good now. I had a conversation with him.
Was I the only one that didn't believe that she was good?
I didn't. At that point, I was
I
like,
can't
okay.
figure why she would lie to us.
I didn't believe that she was a woman. I didn't
I
believe
thought
anything anymore.
It was the ministry secretary in disguise as Chan Lee.
Oh man.
That's what I wanted. Another face. Imagine if you had your own face on top of a hidden face
and then it
on
was
top of your
Cobra.
face.
Underneath
And
that.
then it was Cobra underneath that.
And
it was a
underneath that
G.I.
was
Joe
that one
movie.
lady in the first
the first scene from-
Right.
Look
That
staring
big
at the
lady with
camera.
I planned your father's murder. Been great.
She's still in the arena staring at the camera.
All right, so there's 2 big main scenes left in the movie. There's
Yes,
the
all
boat
of it.
assault is first. So they got to go on the boat and we got to save Sean,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
How are we going to get First of all,
Dude,
Steve James just
Steve
he is going to
he's like, now we got ninjets when the girl
Yeah.
shows up.
yeah.
He's like, you just get us on the boat, ninjet baby, and we'll handle the rest.
Let me take off my shirt again.
right.
Change
But,
my
like-
pants.
She's like, okay, she'll go take care of the guards or whatever. So she walks up like all stealth mode, and they're just like right behind her, coming straight down the street.
Yep.
Like,
Yes.
you're not hiding behind anything. She's not big enough.
Well, it's not even. It's like They're all walking normal, and as soon as they see the first ninja, they're like, okay, crush down time.
It's the most unstealthy ninjas of all ninjas.
Like, you could have just kept walking normal, and people would have like, who the hell are these guys? Nobody knows who you
My
are.
7-year-old
Yeah.
is a better ninja than them.
Well, I just thought Jackson was being real confident. He's like, just get us on the boat and we'll do the rest. I'm like, who? You and Dexter?
Yeah.
Like, that's real
No.
confident, man.
Him and his 2 swords.
Well, not yet. That's when
Not yet.
That's when they assault the base.
Yeah.
On the boat, he doesn't even manifest the swords.
Nope.
I'm like, it's basically just you if you're bringing Dexter along.
Right.
Bringing Dexter is like bringing Doug Funny on a raid with you. Do you know what I'm saying?
The only upside to bringing Dexter is like maybe 2 or 3 of these ninjas are going to hit him while you're taking care of somebody else.
Yeah, it's cannon fodder.
But he
That's
even
all
had
it
to
is.
stop at one point. He's like, help me, I'm poof, poof, getting my butt kicked back. He's like, one's holding him, the other one's just punching him in the stomach repeatedly.
But I will say, the ninja with the hook,
yeah.
now that was the best ninja out of the whole damn movie.
Yeah, that was good.
That dude actually put some effort into it.
That's who they're going to make the next ninja when that guy doesn't show up. When Sean doesn't show up for part
Only
4.
good ninja.
You go, get the hook guy.
hook
Can we get
ninja.
Dudikoff back?
Meanwhile, Steve James is just like, forget it, I quit. Because he's not even in the 4th one.
No.
All right, so they're on this boat.
Wait.
And Jackson is so annoyed when he sees Dexter's like, help me, goosh, goosh, I'm getting killed. He like goes like, oh, okay, I gotta go save Dexter. Goes over and like karate chops each of those
Yeah.
guys. They die
Immediately.
immediately because he touched them.
Yeah.
And Dexter's like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I want to spend 30 minutes talking about the scene, but we can't. So just here's all I'm going to say, and you guys feel free to chime in. When they find Sean in the room
Yep.
and they help him up,
Yep.
and General Andreas comes around the corner with an AK-47,
Right.
and Jackson
fails
is just
miserably.
like, who's this? Like, he's almost like annoyed. Like, he's not like, oh, there's a machine gun pointed
Yeah,
at
that's
us.
all right.
He's like, oh, who's
Been
this
here
now?
before.
Right?
All he's got to do is kick him and it'll like, oh my gun, sorry.
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
But this is the worst job of building up and paying off a vendetta, maybe in cinema history.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the guy that killed his father.
Right.
He never says a word to him.
Nope.
In the 2 or 3 times they're in the same room.
Nope.
Sean, who's all kind of weak, like smacks the gun out of his hand,
Yep.
grabs it, shoots the guy,
Yep.
and then like, all right, let's get out of here. Like, it was so anticlimactic.
That was my favorite jitsu right there. Gun jitsu.
Jitsu.
Yeah.
How did he know how to use the gun?
But yes.
Just no sells the whole
But
thing.
there's like they do that like 1 second of a flashback.
Yeah.
But he
it.
doesn't say anything after. He's not even looks like that angry or any. It's just like they just killed another guard.
Dude, he's
Right.
He lost all his taste and smell from the COVID. That's what it is.
He's just really not feeling well.
Not feeling well. Just not
way
into
under
it.
the weather.
I'm really not into it today, guys.
She does some like ninja magic to make him feel better.
That finger thing that they do. We saw Dudikoff do it
Because
too.
he looks like he's all sick. She's like
flipping some gang signs on him.
doing the Naruto hand signs or something. I don't know, right?
And it gets him better for some reason.
I thought that got rid of the sickness, but it didn't apparently. Because he takes his big deep breath. He's like, "Oh, thank you."
I
He's
just
like,
gave him a second wind. Is all.
"What?" He's like, "Oh, you know hippo jitsu?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, snap! You know that?"
Oh,
Rhino Jitsu.
the caffeine ninjutsu.
It's
got
the
that-
ancient art of disguise. Is
You got
what
that
he's
Red Bull
surprised to know.
Jitsu?
Right. He's like, "Oh, you were one of those disguise ninjas or whatever."
The lady
what it
ninja.
is.
Lady ninjet. All right. Long story short.
All right.
Well, I say that now. Long story short, this is the best.
She also cooks, by the way. She does all these.
Just cook me a sandwich, ninja baby,
Yeah.
and leave me do the rest. That's basically what he's saying.
They let these women be ninjas up in here?
That's right.
Oh, say it.
Well, I can't now because he did it.
Well, you
So-
can cut mine out and do
Yeah,
it
cut
better.
his out.
No,
say
but
it.
now it's not natural. It doesn't just. I'm just
It's
gonna
never
just do it.
natural. I always force you to do
just
it.
had the thought to do it, and then he did it.
I ruined it.
So it's fine.
Don't
It's okay.
you do it?
All right, so they.
Let them ninjas in here.
It's fine. Let's move on. All right,
We can fix it in post.
here we go.
I don't want to.
I'm on.
All right, here we go.
Sorry.
The final assault on the ninja base.
Okay.
The Ninja Base, West Bay Mine.
East Bay Laboratories, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. The way they're getting in is she's now redisguised herself as the ministry secretary.
Yes.
Curtis Jackson is the limo driver. Okay.
Yep.
And Sean is hiding in a bush.
quote.
And I say that he's just like the bush comes up to here, and he's just standing like with his whole chest and head and face out of the bush.
He's not even like crouching down.
Better because he's literally his face is like completely behind everything else. And
Master of disguise.
I'm like, bro,
At least it was nice.
hide. He's just they're across the street, and he's just like
they don't need to be.
like trying to hide Shaquille O'Neal in a bush. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he just sticks out the top of it. Like it's like if I tried to hide. Oh,
It was a Fortnite bush.
that's right.
It's like being
the Hulk
Peely.
skin.
It's like being Peely in a bush.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All the ninjas are all just nearsighted.
He
They
turns
can't
to
see anything 20 feet from them. It's all blurry.
They can't wear glasses with their masks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
They're,
why-
they're,
Fogs up.
their aggro
That's why.
their aggro
cones of
circle is
vision
really
were
small.
just like, yeah, right. So he turns to, I don't know if he turns to Dex or Curtis or one of them. He's like, if I turn, you have to kill me. And
Why?
This is when
Yeah,
I go,
he said that to Dex.
Why?
I was like, wait, he's still sick? I thought she got rid of it or whatever.
They didn't
I
even
thought that-
set that up.
Well,
No,
because
go ahead. No,
they
they
were
didn't.
talking.
Go ahead, Joe.
It's like they either were like
Joe won.
they were like, well, either this virus is going to turn you into a zombie or it's going to kill you. So he's like, if I die, you gotta kill me. It's like
It made no sense.
If I die, stomp my nut.
you're also asking the
Please.
most incapable guy to kill you.
Should have
exactly.
asked Jackson. Jackson, when they finally make, like, all right, we're going for it. And his machine gun work on their run into the building was incredible. Which is
One-handed, over the shoulder.
spraying in all directions. People just running up and falling down in front of him.
It was great.
Jumping off the rail
Just jumping
was
off
great.
launching themselves over
Yep.
the balconies.
Yep.
towards the bullets.
He's smoking a cigarette on the side. He's having lunch
That's
with one of the girls,
awesome. Yes.
just shooting.
Sean is snatching knives out of the air. I mean, Dexter would have been killed 5 different times in
Oh
this
my
movie.
gosh.
And he just snatches a knife straight out of the air. We get Chan Lee is inside. She's stealing the antidote,
Yeah.
right? But then Cobra comes in. He's like, I know it's you, Chan Lee.
Take off that.
Take
mask.
off the mask. And she takes off the mask and she mouths off to him. And then he kills her.
Which
Yep.
is great, by the way.
With more gunjutsu.
Which is great. I was just like, oh, this big character that we really built up to have, like, you know,
That's right.
A ninja power.
yeah, something like, you know, a good redemption story. Not
Yes.
shooter.
Shooter. And I'm like, oh, have they? I don't think the other 2 movies like killed good guys in those other 2. Not that I can remember.
Or is she dead? Or she just turned in one of those.
I'm still not convinced
Bikini.
she was a good guy. So
You know what really this movie missed? I missed Wild Bill. Remember him from the second one? I was like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
really starting to get on my tits.
Yes.
This movie needed one of those guys in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it did.
Oh, we're missing that. Anyway,
it was Dex.
it was supposed to be Dex. They run in there, and there's just pandemonium. Jackson's fighting ninjas, and this is where he pulls out a sword. But at least the sword, you could see it this time.
Yeah, he was wearing it.
Because
That
he
was
pulled
perfect.
that out of nowhere before in the
Right.
second movie. But he manifests a second one that definitely wasn't there.
Well, it was a pair. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
matched pair.
Yes.
But like, if you look at the swordplay in this scene directly, you see the
Oh, my
big
gosh.
notches out of these things. These were some of the cheapest. They were swinging these at some point
Yeah.
at something in training because they were all danged up.
Yeah.
man.
They're all just
Oh, yeah.
aluminum.
yeah.
Well, and then there are some times where it's like he's like showing some swords play, but then there's also times where you're just like this. And it's like, what the heck is
just
going
waving
on
it back
here?
and forth.
It's better than the Van Damme knife fighting.
Knife
yeah.
fight, up, down, up, down. That's true. But it was definitely only one sword when he was first starting fighting with it. And then all of a sudden he like puts his other hand on it and pulls it apart. And now there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like he manifested another sword. They thought that was like a mistake in the last movie, but they just leaned into it. They're like, no,
we're
that wasn't a
doing it.
mistake. He can do this
Yeah.
That's his superpower.
He's a sword man.
out of thin air.
Oh, ninjas again. Sword manifest.
Here we go.
45
Where does he keep the swords?
in
his crotch.
in the cloud.
In the
In his
shirt, in the
afro?
shirt, he keeps taking off.
That crotch has got a lot.
He keeps taking off. All right, now comes the greatest moment in the entire movie.
The
They're
commercial
they're
for-
running. Sean and Dex are running, and these 2 ninjas with bow and arrows come up.
The Jim Cotta moment of all time.
like
I
limp
stood
arrow.
up and I was like, yes! Yes!
Random
It's the best part.
Random arrow!
It's
Well,
the
that
best
was
part.
that was the only part of the movie I actually rewound.
Yes!
Because I'm like, okay, he caught one. He caught another one. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, how did he die? Oh, it's because he decided to do a somersault and not instead of catching the third one.
Well, that's right. Why didn't you use your teeth? Right? What kind of ninja are you?
just-
Come on.
Dudikoff swap one arrow to the other hand and catch the third one. No, Dudikoff would have saved Dex's life. I'm
absolutely.
100% sure Joe would have not done this.
Yeah.
But these two guys come up with two bow and arrows. They fire one. He catches it. They're all trying to kill Dex, by the way. None of these arrows are fired at him.
No,
Right, because they know
that guy.
because they know Dex is going to kill him if he turns, and they all still want him to turn.
Got it. So he catches one in front of Dex. They fire the other bow and arrow, catches that one. Third one, Dex catches
Yeah, he got it.
with his chest
And then he does a somersault and,
and
just
throws
them.
the arrows directly into the chest with such force they puncture their sternums
And
of
they
these
die.
of these ninjas.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's totally possible.
And I just love it.
You
How
just
he's like,
chuck an arrow like
Yeah.
a dartboard.
We've got the alley,
yeah, we could try
Let's
it.
do
We could
I'll put a
test it.
vest on and we'll just chuck an arrow at me.
or we could use a
What about
mannequin.
your face?
But you got to do it coming out of a somersault.
What if I hit you in the face instead of?
What if you shot you in the face? That was a
hadn't thought of
chance we
that.
were willing to take.
I haven't thought of that.
I do like how he just completely no-sells his death.
Oh, I know. You're
Like,
like,
well, he could be alive.
he runs over. He's like, no,
I don't really want to check
well,
it out.
he's like, now you're really gonna die, and then that's it. And then they never mention him again.
No.
What if this guy's
his
actually-
body is still there.
What if the guy actually lived? He's like,
I'm not quite
Guys,
dead.
I'm not quite
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be in 4.
I think I could pull.
I got better.
No,
got
you're dead.
dead.
You're dead.
Sweet Concord. You shall not died in vain. I think I might pull through, sir. You shall not have been mortally wounded in vain.
No, I think I'm pretty good, sir. No, stay
I
here.
see. Oh, I see. I
Oh, crap.
think I'll come with you. No, stay here.
That's exactly what happened.
That's literally, he's still there going, is anybody here, please? I'm badly injured.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
All right, so Jackson, he gives, after they shoot Chanley, Cobra gives the antidote to Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Says, get this out of here.
And Sean puts on a ninja outfit and takes it off for no reason.
For no reason.
He's like, there's a ninja outfit here. I got to have.
Because all movies, the American Ninja end up, like Joe ended up in a ninja outfit at the end of the first two movies,
Yes.
right? By the end of it.
Right.
And so, like,
But
you
there
got to
was a
get him into
reason
it.
why he put it
Yes.
on.
As bad as those movies were, there was at least a reason.
There was
Yes.
no reason for him
reason.
to put it on.
So Curtis runs into Dr. Phil, who's trying to get out of there with the antidote in the library arena where all of the fighting scenes had taken place.
Yes.
And he just basically grabs him by his neck and crotch and puts him up against the wall, right? And he's like, give me this antidote. And he gives it to him.
Tell me.
Tells him where it is.
Yeah.
Then as Jackson leaves, he had the audacity to try and shoot him in the back.
And miss 5 times.
Hey, I've been that guy trying to get somebody and just painting a circle around him
Been there.
on Call of Duty or Fortnite.
Yes, yes,
I know
Call of
exactly
Duty.
how that is.
And he's just like, hit your shots, Dr. Phil. Because after that, I mean, he got his neck snapped for his troubles after
That's
that.
it.
That was it, man. He gave the old scream and the,
That's it. You're done.
That's it, man. Oh, my
Okay.
gosh.
So now-
speaking of Monty Python, when the cops show up and just start arresting ninjas in the parking lot, I thought it was
great.
like the
Yeah.
end of the Monty Python and the
Yeah.
Holy Grail movie.
Yep.
There's ninjas running around the parking lot and the cops are chasing
Dude,
after them.
I don't know if you guys noticed the police officers fighting the ninjas with swords.
Yes.
But
Yes.
using their guns as swords. I'm like,
shoot
them.
the ninjas.
Gun jitsu. It's
Yeah.
okay.
gun kata.
It was like those guys, they don't realize they're in the shot because they're
Yeah.
like barely
Oh,
even
there's a
doing
ton of them
anything.
like off to the sides.
Yes.
They're
Just
doing the
kinda
whole
like half-assing it.
Oh, the Braveheart, like two
Yes,
guys
do you
in the
ever
back,
see that?
just like
Look in the background of Braveheart sometime.
It was just the read-through day,
Great.
and they just kept it.
That's exactly it.
But
So while this is going on, Sean meets up with Cobra in the lab. They're finally in the same room together. But he's starting to kind of like go down with the COVID, the ninja COVID,
Yeah.
okay? But does he need the antidote?
no, he doesn't.
he does the finger thing
Hey,
again.
but the
Flexes it out of himself.
the guys in the thongs get beamed up by Scotty though, and then
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
But you're right. But as he's just as you said, flexing the sickness right out of his and turning the spotlight operator on.
Yeah, he doesn't
apparently,
need
right?
the
He's just like-
vaccine.
the spotlight just like
Yep.
over him because his ninja powers radiate
cold beam.
light.
Cold
Right?
beam from Batman and Robin.
You're right. Cobra has a freaking red ninja button,
Yep.
and he hits it, and they all get beamed up.
Yep.
And
the-
now
the
there's
men
red
in thongs,
ninjas.
and then there's red ninjas. I thought that they were super soldiers. I thought there was going to be fight there.
Nope.
With
no.
the guys in thongs.
Do you know why? Because they all had atrophy for standing there for so long.
Yeah, and of course in this is a tradition in American Ninja movies. These are the red ninjas. These are the top level ninjas, and they're dispatched in 4.5 seconds.
Yes, the best ninjas ever die the easiest.
In every one of these movies.
Yep.
Like, oh, here we go.
One gets taken out with a bottle. Just that the main bad guy chucks. Like, oh, I took the bottle in the chest. Oh, God, I'm dead. Ah.
In this fight, they break the chemistry set, though. That's
right.
Terrible.
There
They
goes all
break
the
the
budget.
chemistry set. He gets him down. And I'm
They didn't
so
get the
annoyed
deposit back on
that
it.
Cobra, who is like this old librarian looking dude. I mean, perfect that this is his base because he looks like he works at a library. Okay, he's got like the wrinkliest suit on through the whole movie.
And the little short
The little short collar. The fact that
really
he
big.
lands 2 punches on Sean is insulting.
Insulting.
If this guy's supposed to be a ninja master,
Right.
He's a superhuman.
this businessman
Superhuman.
is not going to be landing shots. I don't care.
He should have injected himself with the virus to make himself a superhuman.
Wouldn't have that been awesome? Then they could have had a superhuman fight, but no.
Nope.
He gets him down,
Turned his hair orange and everything. It's all ripped.
turns into Blanca
Yeah.
from Street Fighter.
Yeah, just like
They're ripping off everything at this point. Jackson comes in. He's like, here's the antidote. He's like, no, I'm good. I don't need it.
He just and then
like, you know what I went through to get this for you?
He
I love
throws
this, the
it.
best line. He's like, come on, man.
Oh yeah, he throws it and they actually put the glass shattering sound
Yeah.
effect.
Like, I had
People
one
might have
reason
needed that, dude.
I had one reason why I was in this movie was to come, pay off at the end and save you.
Yeah.
Nope.
But he also talks to him like there was only one in that suitcase that we saw earlier. There were
Yeah.
like a ton of them.
Yeah.
The coup de grace, the wonderful way to cap off this movie is Cobra does the cliche thing where he pops back up after you think the bad guy is dead.
Yeah.
And Sean tries to do the spinning heel, the Van Damme kick, the big spinning heel kick, but he can't quite do it. And so they cut it early, and you could tell he's not getting the elevation. They totally were like, all right, we're going to do the Van Damme kick.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it.
No.
It was off. I mean, he could do it better than like probably 99% of other people out there, but it just clearly wasn't to that level. And I'm like, yeah, that's the right note to end this movie on.
Solid.
Solid note.
It's a great movie.
We're about to find out because it's time to give this movie some awards. All right? Whether you think they deserve it or not.
This is done. Let's do this.
Could you do me a favor, Joe, number one?
Yeah.
Could you bring me the head of Will Patton, please?
Son of a
Thank you, sir.
Joe number 1.
By the way, the score is currently
So
Joe
he
number
said-
1
he
for
said
2.
one.
New Joe
Thank
has 1 point.
Damn thing out of there.
All right, this is Will Patton, and Will Patton is the most intense actor to ever work in Hollywood. In fact, no matter what he's doing, he attacks it with an intensity of that of 1,000 blazing suns. So we have named our award for the actor with the most intensity, the Will Patton Award. So what I need from you, gentlemen, is your nominations for the Will Patton Award for intensity. Curtis Jackson,
Curtis Jackson.
Steve James with the nomination.
I have to go with Steve James.
He's got the most intense body
James.
anyway.
I would say the only close runner-up
Yeah,
is I don't know what her name is because it's not on
Michelle Chan.
the girl that she plays the
The secretary.
Yeah.
secretary when she's like kicking butt.
Yeah.
But then every time she gets done kicking butt, she always like
Fixes herself up.
herself up. I
Yeah.
thought that was actually not all that shabby. She
No.
did that pretty well.
She wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Who you got?
But it's still
So I'm going with someone else.
it's okay.
But
it's okay.
So I don't know if you guys noticed this because we didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
I said General Andreas for this specific reason.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
I'm pretty sure he was also voiceovered.
Oh,
the whole
yes.
movie?
I'm pretty sure you're
And
right.
so you see his facial reaction, or his expression, and just him like you can tell he's overselling him
Yes.
yelling something,
Yes.
and then the
voice
guy
is
that's
just
dubbing
like-
is not matching.
Not bad with energy.
So, yes.
I'm so angry right now.
No,
I'm li-
good.
You've got me really pissed the fuck
wanna wait for
off.
So
Holidays.
even if it's I don't know if it's he went back and revoiced over himself. I don't know what happened, but
Right.
his actual physical performance
Yeah.
Was intense.
Was pretty
Yeah.
intense.
Well, I know in the first two movies, I think Steve James has won this award. And so I
Yeah.
assumed he was going to win this award. But I wanted to give special mention to Mr. Alan Swerdlow, who played the police captain.
Oh, he's a great picture.
I thought he was the best actor in the entire movie. He only had the one scene.
But intense?
Yeah, but he played the part
He
right
played
away.
the opposite of intense.
Now he had a dry intensity that was really, really good.
Dry
Yes.
intensity.
I almost
Those
said
words
that-
don't go together.
I
That's not
almost,
true.
I almost said the police officer that just stood over
Yeah.
Curtis
That
Jackson.
guy more than
That
the.
guy would have been
I was
better.
like, this guy is dialed in. I believed everything he said.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean intense.
To me, it did.
That's
But it won't matter because Steve
Yeah.
James is going to win.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
So
Of course he is,
we've
because it's
got
the right choice.
two
Yeah.
people writing in here. We've
All right,
got
fine. Tie game.
Mr. Aaron Nowak from the Patreon. What's up, Aaron? We love you, buddy. Thank you for writing in.
Hey, what's
Give
up,
it up
dude?
for
Right
Aaron.
on, Aaron.
Aaron, he voted for Steve James.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Specifically mentioning the amazing delivery he gave his one-liners. He liked that. And Mr. Mark Gusek, who is writing in. This is also the same Mark who had awards for American Ninja 2. So he's coming along with us
All
on
right.
this journey as well. So we give it up for Mark.
Good job, Mark.
Nice, Mark. He said Steve James also.
Yes.
That's the right answer.
That's
Nice.
the way you do it, son.
He said, again, this man is more intense than the time I forgot how to sit down. Little Family Guy quote for you.
Yeah.
He goes, my back-to-back time picking him. He picked him last time. So there you go. Steve James is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity. So congratulations to Steve James. Moving on to an award that is deeply connected to the American Ninja series.
Very deeply connected.
The Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, which is the award we give out to the worst actor in a movie, the one that had the range of a trash can full of dirt. So, Joe, if you could, Joe number 2, please place the trash can of dirt.
Joe number 2. That's not about like first or second. You're literally
closer.
It's just left to right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
1 and
Okay.
1, 2.
2. You know what? I'll do
I
it.
got.
No.
Don't you got to get the garbage
You got to
can?
get the garbage can and place the. You know what?
Oh, wait, this is
James
what
will
I'm
do
supposed-
it. You always got to turn this into a fiasco. You can't just do it right.
I forgot about the
You know
trash
what?
can.
Joe
full of
number
dirt.
1 goes back ahead in the poll. He gets a point. Or I could deduct one of yours. Your choice.
Yeah.
We'll do both.
This is good. No, this is good.
So that thing
James
is
actually
heavy from all the
does something
talent that's
for
in
once.
it.
It's actually a trash can full of dirt.
Just
It's full of talent.
it's good to see that James actually do something for once. I mean, all he does is just sit here.
You know what?
Whatever.
That's fair.
Throw the flip flop.
He's
we'll
going
see.
to accidentally throw Superman.
All right, so but in serious, who's your nomination for the trash can full of dirt?
Okay, I have two
Okay.
nominations. I'm gonna obviously.
There's one correct answer.
Yeah. For me. I was torn between two. One was Sean.
Sean Bradley. Or David Bradley. Sean.
Yep,
Yeah.
David Bradley, or Calvin. Calvin Young. The Isuzu.
Isuzu. The guy that played Subaru. I don't know what his name is.
That guy. Azuma.
Yeah.
That guy.
Okay.
His acting in this movie.
You didn't like his goatee?
His range was worthy
Sean,
of the trash can full of dirt.
Sean, help.
Sean, help me. Sean, help. Help me, Sean.
You
I
are
understand.
ninja now.
Was atrocious. But
Okay. So which one of those
he
two
has
are
a
you
small
going
part though. So I'm still thinking I'm going to stick with Mr.
with David
David Bradley,
Okay.
Sean, simply for his long pauses in between his statements.
He was trying to think of his lines.
It's exactly what it was.
I
He had the William Shatner treatment. There was a time that I'm gonna have
that
to
would
do
have been
this.
so much better.
Like
that would've been funny.
That's him. That was him.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, number 1. Who's your nomination for the trash can?
I nominated Chan Lee.
Chan Lee. Really?
Yes.
Michelle Chan.
Yes,
Wow.
because, like I said,
I liked her.
I did not believe anything she said.
Okay.
So
You're going to fail this. I'm sorry. Tie game. 2-2. Unbelievable. This
He
is
didn't
a
like that
tight.
take.
This is a
Take
tight race.
a point away from him.
I just did. It's tied back up 2-2.
I get it. You didn't believe her, though.
nope.
No.
I
Okay.
didn't know whose side she was on.
I went with
That was the point.
Well, yeah,
went
I
with-
thought she was going to betray them at the end and be the ultimate
turncoat.
bad guy.
No.
That's what you play.
You wanted to be a turncoat?
Yeah.
A triple agent.
Yeah.
All right, I went with Evan Klisser because, come on, Dex. Evan Klisser as Dex was the worst, not just the worst performance by an actor in all 3 movies put together.
The worst. Okay. Well, yeah.
Every single take, every single line, everything was terrible. Everything about his performance was terrible.
But he tried.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, everybody's trying to a certain
at least
extent.
a participation award.
I'm going to agree with James on this one, but my toss-up was between every Blue Ninja and Dex.
And
but
Dex.
Dex is going to take it. But you're
Well,
not
we
right.
got, well,
You're
we
not
still
wrong
got 2
with
more
Inzuma.
votes.
I think-
We still got 2 more votes.
I think
you're
I'm going to
right.
switch over to the Dexter.
Okay.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
He was that bad. I forgot about him.
Even the people that had to do scenes with him were like, geez.
I mean, I understand where you're going. Those would be
Because-
solid 3-4 picks.
Yeah, but he was a bad actor. He was
Yeah.
a bad fighter. He was
Bad
a bad
everything.
line reader.
At least he could catch an arrow.
And he was.
He was a good catch, yeah.
He's
right.
the good guy that I cheered for when he died.
So
I changed mine.
Mark Usek wrote in and said, also Evan Klisser as Dex. He says, this man couldn't act his way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah.
Or punch his way, really, out of a wet paper bag. And Aaron Nowak went off the board, but a good pick, too. He said Steven Weber, a.k.a. Young Sean.
Okay.
There was lots of choices in this movie. He said the emotion was never there, especially after seeing his father mangled by 3 bullets from 4 feet away. Rivals that of the man himself, Michael Dudikoff, his non-reaction there.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm almost certain that they told this kid to watch the first movie and told him that. You see that? That's what we want you to do.
That's the money.
That's it. Do that.
Exactly that. No more.
So ultimately, with 3 votes, Evan Klisser will win.
Yeah.
Dexter is the trash can full of dirt award
agree.
winner. So he's got
and
great
that's
company.
saying something in a movie full of contenders.
Full of crap.
And Joe number 2 loses a point for changing his vote, but gains a point for changing his vote to the same as mine.
All right.
So
the wash. It's a
he's
wash.
back at
then.
2 and 2.
So it's still a wash,
Yeah.
regardless.
doesn't
Gotta
make
have
sense.
It does.
All right. I need your top 3 performances. This doesn't necessarily mean anything about quality. You could have enjoyed them because they were terrible, but what were your top 3 performances that you enjoyed the most?
Lady in the big fat lady in the red dress staring at the camera at the beginning.
Okay.
Every ninja
Okay.
and Michael Dudikoff.
And Michael Dudikoff in his absence.
In his absence.
You know what? You're not wrong because his stock went way up after
Way
seeing it.
up.
When you got a movie that's making you wish Dudikoff was in it,
yeah.
what does that say?
Yeah.
Right? After watching
I'd
this,
rather have Dudikoff as stunt double.
you know, we've been going back and
thing
forth
is-
about taking Dudikoff's name off of the trash can. And after seeing this movie, I'm even more leaning towards taking his name off.
Right, because like the first movie was rough. It really was, and whatever the reason is, the second movie was such a lift to him that the third movie could have only been
Mediocre.
Meaty.
No.
Roker.
Meteoric. Yeah.
rise, like
Yes.
going up. Like legitimately, this would have been the greatest movie of all time.
You having
Yes.
a stroke right now?
Yes, I smell toast. Is that you?
Never seen a meteor rise.
But I
have to
agree
come
with
up
what
from
you're saying. I
somewhere.
agree with what you're saying.
I'm an idiot, but I have a point.
No, I agree completely with what you're saying. And I'm honestly willing to just make it official right here, right now, and just say, if you guys are on board with this, Michael Dudikoff's name is stricken from the trash can.
I think it should be because people could be way worse than Michael Dudikoff.
That's been proven.
Hold on a second. But we have such awesome stickers.
We can fix the sticker. We can put anybody's face over
Put
that
a
part of
face
the
over his
sticker.
face. Also, his
It can
face
still
doesn't
say it.
even show up in the camera. It just shows the top of it.
Yeah.
So
We could
it's
fix
not
it.
That fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think he deserves it anymore. And this isn't about what had happened with the lady.
how
and
about
what
We
was
should
said.
go back and ADR everything and take it.
No,
Hold on
for
a
the
second.
time that he had it, it's what it is.
I got it.
Yeah.
Let's get through the American Ninja series and then make a decision.
Yeah, but we might not do the 4th one for another 6 months.
That's got to come up.
And then we're going to have 50 more episodes with his name on this trash can.
That's what I'm saying. We have to see the whole library and then make a decision.
Well, too, and then you get like 50 more episodes
Because
of
4
potential
could-
people that are worse, too.
All right, let's do this because Dudikoff is in the 4th one. And so that's a chance for him to
Redeem himself.
possibly redeem himself.
Or
But I do think he already redeemed himself with the second one. That's
Yeah, he
the
really
thing.
did.
let's
That was
just
much
bump
better.
it up then.
Just do it sooner.
Do it sooner. You have the power.
All right, we'll see.
give the patrons.
Let's hear what
ask
you
them.
guys.
Joe
what you
loses
guys
another
think.
point for this idea.
Email us.
Bullshit.
Email the show. This show is trash at gmail.com. Let me know what to do here. All right, who's your top three?
Okay, so my number 3, the dudes in the thongs.
Joe, I like to give that.
I did
give
not
Joe
expect
another
that.
point.
I did not expect
Joe
that.
another. I'll approve that one. I'll approve that one.
Joe's winning. Joe's losing.
Those guys were doing work.
It's not breathing.
My number 2 is Adrian Pierce,
Okay.
the lady that played the secretary.
Oh, the press secretary?
Yeah.
Yep, she was good.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 is Steve James.
Steve James.
The secretary of the ministry or whatever.
Was number 3?
Secretary-
Yeah.
Number 3.
Okay.
Absolutely. I loved her. Great. I just liked it.
Great hair.
Great everything.
Huge tracts of land.
Tracks of land. I liked. Oh my gosh. That's
Splinter.
Terrible.
Splinter?
It wasn't.
Splinter.
It was Shredder. It was Shredder was the guy.
Redemption.
Who was there?
My God, I had them all.
Do you describe who they were?
No, well,
Screw you,
Steve
you
James
TikTok.
obviously is
Yes.
on there, but he was going to be my number 1. I can't remember. Oh, no. He was going to be my number 2. My number 1 was going to be the ladies in all the bodyscaping pictures all
Oh my
over the
God.
set on this thing.
That's a Bob answer.
That's exactly what it. Bob's not here. Somebody's got a Bob every time.
An inanimate object.
An
won his
inanimate
second
object,
vote.
my
Okay.
favorite.
Got it.
Out of all the paid actors, inanimate objects.
Oh, that person got paid.
All right, so my number 3 was actually Marjo Gortner, which was the guy that played Cobra. He was terrible, but I enjoyed how like schmoozy and cheesy that guy was. Number 2, I had Steve James, and then number 1, I had Michelle Chan as my number 1 most enjoyable performance. Although I know you trash canned her, but I actually thought out of everybody, she seemed like she was really trying to be in this movie and do a good job, and wasn't intense. So I did nominate her for that, but I thought she did good.
I like the character
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, so here's the top 3. We got top 3 first from Aaron Nowak. Number 3, he gives to David Bradley. He said he was stiff at times, but whenever he grabbed something out of the air to save someone's life, my genuine reaction was, with no one else in the room, damn, you see that? He grabbed that crap out of the air.
Except for when he did it.
except for the
Because I about died when he did the double arrow. Too bad he didn't have 3 hands. It's too bad.
Steve James has 3 hands.
Oh my gosh. Number 2, he gave to the Cobra. He said it was decently acted, surprisingly. And
Joe number 2 is down to no points.
Oh, come on. Bullshit.
Stop. Okay.
To beep out a lot of things.
Number 2. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. His number 2 is Michelle Chan. So I truly believe that she didn't know she was working for such a horrible man that kept a clan of ninjas on an island, hidden in an experimental pharmaceutical facility. But seriously, I thought she was a major driving point for the movie. That's a great point. At one point, she does say, "I didn't know he was bad," and I'm like,
Hello. He gave a speech about terrorism being awesome.
"Like, what do you mean?
Like twice.
Yeah.
He's hiding ninjas in a pharmaceutical hideout."
He's misunderstood.
Yeah, that's all that was. And then Aaron's number 1 was Steve James. Said he brought the ripped bod that Sean didn't show off to the last 5 minutes. Great comic relief. And the most elegant, slow-moving, real-time fight scenes.
Yeah.
This man made the movie what it is. So that was his top 3. And then Mark Gusek gives us number 3, Cobra. Decently acted. Surprisingly, he said number 2, Steve James. Another not terrible performance. That's a
Yeah.
backhanded compliment, I think, but it fits. And number 1 goes to the new ninja, David Bradley, only because he is the only one that seems to know martial arts in the movie.
Oh, man.
Fair enough. All right, so we got a couple more questions to answer quickly. One, as we always do, Joe established this rule way back in episode number 7, is that everybody back in the 80s and 90s wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger to star in their movies. And there's a reason why, because Arnold makes every movie better. And I don't think this movie is any exception.
Nope.
Had Arnold been cast in this movie, would it be better than a 3.7 on IMDb right now?
Yeah.
Of course it would.
Of course it would.
As the secretary, could you imagine him?
The disguise she puts on is Arnold.
Yes.
Oh
That'd be
my-
awesome.
She rips
She
the
rips
mask
off
off,
Arnold's face and it's her. Oh my
so good.
gosh.
deflates the rest of the suit.
Yeah, right. Dude, imagine if he
No,
was.
it's just the face.
Right.
Imagine if he played Dex.
So,
He would have just ripped that lock off the.
The arrow wouldn't have existed. It was ting, and
Yeah.
shot the guy in the face.
hello, ladies. We'd like to have lunch with you.
Yeah.
Here's my
my
buddy
friend.
Karate Champ.
Yeah.
We could have had
Zip.
another. We could have had another like strong man like.
The arrow just bounced off his chest.
Ricochet killed the guy who
Like,
shot it.
You know what I'm talking about from Predator.
Predator.
Oh, Predator when they
Yeah.
slap hands.
We could have had
together
another
and-
one with him and
with Steve James.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great. I think he could have also. I mean,
He could have directed it.
he could have done anything.
Written it.
He could have played the truck
He could have played.
and had a paraglider
Land
They
on
just
Land a
glide on
paraglider
him.
on him.
He's the glider.
Yeah.
Right. Just ride Arnold.
Whoa.
Land Arnold on the truck.
He's out of fuel.
He's not
To the chopper.
Just keep pulling it.
Oh. Left turn, please.
Aaron makes a good point.
Negative 1 point.
Aaron Nowak makes a point here. He says, make Arnold Cobra. Okay. He says it would lead to a much better final fight where Sean, in order to beat him, would have had to inject the rest of the virus into Arnold because one dose wouldn't do it. Got to inject the rest of it. And then at the end, after the fight, you see Arnold reaching for the antidote after they'd already left, leading to yet another adventure, a sequel where you could have, and also tell me it wouldn't be great watching Arnold just smoking a stogie, walking around the island all the time. Just,
To be honest with you, that terrorist speech would have been great from Arnold.
Oh, can you believe
I
it?
agree. That's
what I-
That's a good suggestion.
Terrorism is the best.
Yeah.
I just said that on a microphone. Okay. All right, guys. Ultimately, we got to land on something here. We got to decide: is this a good movie with no qualifiers? Everyone's wrong. This is a objectively good movie.
No.
Is it a is it a bad movie? Full stop. Or
Yes.
is it a bad movie that rules? Meaning it's objectively bad, but you enjoyed it. So I think Clint doesn't like this movie.
I didn't like it. I won't watch it again. It wasn't great. We've definitely watched some bigger steamers.
Yeah.
But it's still a bad movie.
Bad movie, straight up.
Yep.
Joe, number 2.
It is
Alpha male?
It is so bad. It's great.
Oh.
It is so bad. It is great. This is another Gymkhana.
No, it is not.
Another Megaforce.
There is no way.
This
Feel free to
is-
throw a flip flop at him.
This. Get out of here. I don't care. I am standing on this.
New Joe wins no matter what he says.
This is a bad
Joe
movie
number 2.
that rules.
It sticks.
All
Wait
right.
till we give him another Clint.
Where you at on this, Joe, number 1?
All right. So according to the 16-point scale, this
I like
movie
this.
sucks.
Oh.
Yes.
Dude, this movie is trash.
But is it good though?
No, I'm
This
thankful. I'm
that's not even a
thankful I
16-point
didn't have to.
scale one.
I'm thankful I didn't have to spend $3 on Amazon.
Oh, you were happy it was free.
Did you not laugh at some of the absurdities?
Not until we talked about him here. That's what I'm saying. That's what I determined as. Like when you watch the movie, the amount of fun we have here has nothing to do with the experience of actually watching the
Yeah.
movie.
I stood up. I was like, random arrow. And I was like, that's the greatest
Yeah.
thing ever.
Here's what Mark Usek said. You just can't throw arrows.
Perfect segue from my arrow
Man.
comment.
Says the flying scene wasn't needed. The premise is eerily similar to the last one. Also, you don't need a specific person to test out a biological weapon. Thank you, Mark. Anyone would do. Please don't let Bob touch my notes. This is a bad movie. Because Bob ripped up the paper last time Mark wrote in on this.
This movie would have been way better if they actually spent more time in the tournament, doing like
just the
real
tournament.
fighting.
Just like actually watch that tournament. That'd be fun.
Here's what I'll say. This movie, it's not even there's no, by any objective measure, there's no way anyone could say this is a good movie. This is a bad movie.
Yep.
That rules, because I legitimately laughed so many times,
Yes.
and that's the way I gauge it. Because there's some movies that we've watched that I've said are just bad because I didn't even enjoy it comedically,
Yeah.
even if it was unintentional comedy. So I will say this: it's on the low end of that scale. I would never watch it again by myself, but with people in a room. Heck yeah, I would watch American
Hell
Ninja 3
yes.
Blood Hunt.
High
Absolutely.
five, James.
And can we
There we go.
just real quick talk about too?
Yeah.
What's with the American Ninja titles that have nothing to do with the movies.
You mean
No.
the confrontation didn't have anything
Yeah,
to do with the
exactly.
second
And
one?
Blood Hunt.
What's Blood Hunt? Is it because there's a virus in it?
I'm pretty sure we saw one guy bleed in the whole movie.
That's true. Because there was
yeah,
blood.
She was
shot.
bleeding
don't
after
know.
she got shot.
I get it.
Whatever.
Next week, want to talk about taking a step up? We're going from David Bradley and Steve James and Evan Klisser to Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen and Raul Julia. Raul Julia's first time back since the first episode ever
Yeah.
as Bison and Street Fighter. He plays the bad guy again against the partner cops. It's a buddy cop movie starring Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen going up against Raul Julia in a movie from 1990 called The Rookie, where it's kind of like Training Day, where Charlie Sheen's the new guy and Eastwood's showing him the ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds incredible, right?
Yeah.
Low ratings across the board. And I'm looking at this cast and I'm like, how? I've not seen it yet. Like, how on earth is this not a good movie? And Bob loves it. He watches it all the time. Bob will be on the episode. So I got to find out what the heck's wrong with this movie.
Yeah, that's not a good
excited.
indicator, though, that Bob loves it.
Yeah.
That's true. Have any of you seen it? The Rookie?
Negative.
Nope.
Oh, man. I was hoping one of you could give me some insight.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the baseball movie.
No, it's a
Rookie.
buddy cop movie. Yeah, Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that
Rookie of the Year was the kid from American Pie. Yeah.
That was way off.
So join us next week. Bob will be here. We're going to talk
-5.
about The Rookie. We'll have our first Clint Eastwood movie, our second Charlie Sheen movie after The Wraith, and Raul Julia is back. And we're going to try and figure out how the hell this movie is bad because I don't get it. In the meantime, on behalf of Clint Bush and on behalf of the alpha male Joe Goratowski and our guest, Mr. Joe Bernhardt, a.k.a.
Joe number one.
Thank you for watching, and we will catch you next time. American Ninjas! We're cooking up ninjas now. Gonna poison their blood. Gotta give them the virus.
Terrorism is fun.
Yes, right on cue. The harmony is
Joe,
great there.
Joe won. I don't like you. You're funny. Make me look bad over here.
New Joe, better than old Joe. You heard it here first.